Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blades in the Dark at Chaotic Neutral Games. I am Rodrigo, your storyteller for tonight, as we're going to be joining Kevin, Kat, Mike, and Simon with their adventures in Duskfall. Don't forget you can join the chaos by clicking the Discord link in the channel info or support us by becoming a subscriber. Uh, so, we already kept you all waiting for long enough. Let's join them in the city of ghosts and broken dreams in John Harper's Blades in the Dark. Hey, hello everyone. Uh, so sorry for the late start. Roll 20 kind of shut the bed and died. So we were kind of sorting that out. How is everyone?
Good.
Yep, much better
Cool.
now.
Yeah.
Couple of rocky days getting over the damn vaccine, but glad that I'm not sweating and delirious now because
Oh yeah.
I might be able to make the excuse that it's a character, but no.
Is Jacob Pry
Yeah.
the type to be sweaty?
Well, he's an opium addict.
True. Fair enough.
Wow, that Simon guy really gets into the role playing role. He should go
His
for
eyes
acting
are
or something.
puffy. He's talking nonsense.
I don't know how he makes his eyes bleed. What the hell?
And hello, Vic.
Hello, Vic. All right. So, Uh, without much further ado, let's pick up where the Dark Hole solution last left off. Right now, it's currently, we open on the city of Duskfall, as we always do. Um, and it's currently, I might be getting the name wrong, but it is currently the Hour of Mist. It is twice a day when the fog and the mist coming from the river Dusk is at its heaviest. It's which covers the entire city in fog. Um, People use this time as impromptu breaks. No one goes outside during this time. They use this time to relax, catch up. The more insidious types use this time to plan and to scheme. You guys are holed up inside your underground lair. Even if it weren't the Hour of Mist, you guys are currently laying low, waiting for the misinformation campaign you guys started last session to do its work. As right now, people are kind of on the lookout for you, because you're currently wanted for the murder of a guy whose name I forgot, Penderin. Uh, the important bit is his last name,
Yes,
right?
Pendrin
So,
is. Is it
yep,
spelled Penderyn?
yes, exactly.
Oh, named after
Uh,
my favorite whiskey. Okay. Well, second favorite.
so we open up with the crew currently in the lair. What are you doing? Actually, not only what are you doing, but I want you to take this up as an opportunity to describe the lair, you guys' lair. Because so far we only know that it's in 6 towers and it's probably underneath a mansion, and that's it.
Should we describe the bits that we're responsible for? Because I know that Kevin's responsible for the workshop and
Yeah, that sounds
things and
good.
go around the table. Yeah?
Hmm.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, let's start with you, Jacob.
Jacob is responsible for the war room. This looks like a conspiracy theories hidey hole, complete with leather sofa. And it has a glut of information. It looks like it was put together by a madman with too many Pritt sticks in his possession. In fact, you're not entirely sure how he sticks it to the walls. There's a guy who comes around and gives him like a pot of stuff that smells awful. Smells like sheep fat. It may be sheep fat. He's got documents all over the walls in what he seems to think is an order that is relevant. And in his more fevered moments, will scoot back and forth across them, pointing out various bits to people. And there might be some red string involved.
Interesting. What? Okay. Cass, what does your corner of the lair look like?
Well, it's funny that you should say corner because it's not so much corner as right in the middle. I've kind of curated a bit of a drawing room for myself, right in the hub of where everyone is passing through. So you have to come into this room to get in and out or to get to anywhere else. But it's all very posh Victorian. I've got a chaise lounge. I've got a lovely, beautifully carved drinks cabinet, which is always stocked with whiskey, and below it a wine rack. And yeah, I'm generally to be found lounging about with a glass of red wine and a book.
How did Cass get a hold of all these things? I'm expecting not all of it were acquired legally.
Maybe not legally, but it was definitely ethically sound. A couple of my friends are fencers, and sometimes it's just too hard to get stuff off your hands. So I get antiques for a good price if they can't find any collectors who are unscrupulous enough to take them.
And I should imagine they don't mind giving
Nice.
it to you, Cass, because they know that nobody who is, let's say, outside of the trade is ever going to see it again.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
Fair enough. Sounds like a bargain to me. All right, moving on. Cal, Slate, how does your slice of the lair look like?
Okay, so I was given the task of making sure that the entrances and exits, our escape routes and our secret passages are fully secure. And that is, I'll be honest with everybody, that's still a bit of a work in progress, because I'm a bit too obsessed about making everything perfect. So what would probably pass by most of the team's standards, I'm still finessing. So there are well-disguised tripwires. There are tiny little hidey holes. I've placed a few dead drop locations where we can quickly grab a piece of equipment on our way out. And there are a few other nicks and knacks that are in places that otherwise people wouldn't think to look, that I can pull this bit or that bit at the right moment on a swift departure, and things will happen behind us that our pursuers will not want to happen to them.
I feel like Slate's corner of the lair is a little similar to Jacob's, but instead of like but it's just maps. It's just a lot of maps of like the city and each of the districts.
Yeah,
I feel like
you know, if you go this way, you come out here. You know,
Yeah.
if you go that way, you come out there. You know, if you go this way, well, we don't go that way. That's a bid that we set up just for other people to foolishly follow, and they'll end up in places they don't want to be.
I also feel like if you want to approach Slate, do it at your own peril, because there's probably like a gajillion tripwires or like little something hidden on like in your corner, so it's probably
Yeah, so-
like a
So
hazard.
wherever I am, whatever corner I'm in, is the part that I'm currently working on.
I think,
And,
I
it's
think-
probably
You've probably learned that in the evening, I'm likely to go round bothering everyone because I'm bored, and you've just curated like Mission Impossible around yourself to try and keep me away and like let you do your work in peace.
Oh god, the face is coming.
There
Yeah.
are tripwires. There are tripwires that I've specifically highlighted that I'm currently working on, so that people don't walk into those. And then I found out that I just get a sickening amount of times that Cass comes walking through and trips them anyway. So I've learned, what are their sleeping hours? When are they going to be at the casino? Those are the times that I put all the strings back up. And yes, I don't arm all of the traps until I know that they know that that's where they're going to be. But they do
Gosh.
spray paint. They do spray paint during the build phase. And obviously, Checkers has had a lot of input on this because some of it's just beyond my ability. But what I actually get set up is what I want for security purposes.
I like the idea that Slade is just the hyper competent roommate that you both love and are terrified of to have.
Yep.
Just don't start a prank war with me. I have ways and means.
And last but not least, Checkers. How does your part of the lair look?
All right. In between all the smoke coming from whatever, God knows what machine I'm working on, I try to whiff it away. It's all darkened by all these different kinds of smokes of different machines that I have currently working. I don't know what they do, but they're on. So I'm repairing them for some to stop smoking. I sometimes inhale it because you know I don't want it to leak anywhere else, and I want to experience if this kind of smoke is usable for something else or whatever. So I'm working. There's a lot of scrap metal all around the floor. There's no particular order. The way Checkers works is he doesn't start a project. He finishes one he started way long ago. So he's just finding things like, oh yeah, so this goes here, and yeah, and that I have to finish that. I never start working on something. I just finish things that I started working on before.
So you kind of trip over it and go, oh yeah, and that's what
Yeah.
you're doing for the next few hours. Yeah,
Exactly.
I love it.
on a little corner, I have like a little cabinet with a glass door that has your names. It says Master Pride, Miss Cass, Mr. Slate, and Vilcek, and I have like little mugs that I've made to suit your like your aesthetic choices depending on the on your room. But that's where I pour the tea every time one of my dog's butt turns into a teapot. So yeah, I've been trying to work on creating a body so out of metal, and that's going horribly wrong so far. There's a lot of different pieces that look like different animals, and far away in the corner, just candlelit, is a little altar for my buddy, my best friend. So that's it. That's Checkers.
Nice.
Just yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah,
Fair
it's
enough.
like it's a rabbit's hole pretty much.
Okay. So it's been a few, like, so you're hanging out at your lair, doing whatever you do, mostly laying low, which mostly means being bored out of your mind, particularly you, Cass. Uh, uh, you're still trying to shake off the heat from the disastrous art gallery score. I mean, it wasn't technically disastrous, you still got paid, but a lot of things went wrong, just to say the least.
We got paid to be framed for murder. I'm not sure that's a good payoff. I feel like I would have liked to be paid more to be framed for murder, but It can be
Reasonable.
Yeah.
negotiated.
Yeah.
Whatever it was
Yeah.
we were expected to do, we did it, and we got paid for it. That's a success.
Yeah. I think it was a beautiful score. I think you guys did wonderful.
I know I've been bragging to all my friends about it.
With that
Ooh,
in mind,
buddy.
I like the idea that the the front page of, I don't know, like the Daily Dusk, right, it's just like a photograph, or at least a sketch, like a sketcher's interpretation of the carriage flying into the into the sky. And I like to imagine that this pops into mind as soon as Checkers just goes, "Oh yeah, you guys did wonderful. I think it was great."
Yep. It was beautiful, beautifully executed. I think you guys should get into more scores.
I'm looking at him as if to I'm looking to see all the sarcasm, and when I don't see any, there's a look of disbelief on my
Oh,
face.
there's no ounce of
Yeah.
sarcasm
Yeah,
in my voice. It's just I'm honestly
Cass,
like
you can
if
tell
you
he's
can't
completely
tell,
honest.
Yeah.
yeah, I am I'm amazed. You guys are like
Okay,
very
so
skilled.
so as you're just mingling and just doing whatever, you hear a little
But we're all here.
on the lair door. Um, you're all here, yes. Um, who's getting the door?
I'll get the door.
I'll get my palm pistol.
Yeah, do you all want to make yourselves scarce?
I'll go hide.
Slate, what you doing? Since everyone's saying what you're doing.
Is this a like the door to the mansion or the door to the underground bit?
To the door to the underground bit.
Oh, it's probably
What?
well, it may
To be honest,
a friend.
our formal reception, I haven't actually got around to working on yet. So there are no traps or anything in the formal reception area. I'm sort of paused, my hands tied almost literally to a number of strings that I'm working on at the minute, thinking I could let go of these, rush there, and shoot whoever comes through the door, or
Okay.
I could try and put these down gently and not get covered in paint. And I'm
I
just frozen for a moment.
open the door.
You open the door, and I want you all to make me a favor and describe how your patron looks like.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Are we going to go Ebenezer Scrooge, or are we going to go Moriarty? I mean, that's basically it, isn't it? Or should
I mean,
we?
if we go Moriarty, you've got competition.
Yeah, that's true. Let's not do that. I don't like competition.
Let's go with Watson.
I have an ego.
Let's go with Watson, Dr. Watson.
Oh, you
So,
want to
a
have like
very amiable-
the sweeping brush mustache and muscly but kind of portly.
Yeah.
Scovish
Slight
too,
limb.
remember.
Okay. Oh, by the way, thank you very much, Hermit, for your 9-month subscription. Thank you very
Oh
much.
shit.
Yeah,
That's
stream
nice.
baby. We have a stream baby.
Stream baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you open the door, and in front of you is the patron, which name I always keep forgetting for some reason. But he is the one who set you up with this place, and is the one who got you the art gallery job. And as soon as you open the door and catches you, Cass, and then sees how everyone's doing, is like, "What's all this then? Why are we all tense for?"
We weren't expecting guests, but it's lovely to see you. Come in, will you have a drink?
I'm fine, thank you. So he just walks in, makes himself at home. It's like,
Oh, be careful. There's some
Yeah.
things on the floor you don't want to step on.
I want to say he speaks with a very heavy Scottish accent, despite how he's dressed. Right, this is the one thing that gives away that he's from Scotland, instead of like any other Acarosian nobility. He goes on to say, "Kept yourself busy, eh? Look, I know you had quite a bit of a time at the gallery last time."
Yes, we have kept ourselves busy. It appears that, well, you say that our client ghosted, and obviously we're very, very grateful that you still paid us, but some issues with that ghosting. We think that
Yeah,
we were hired as a
I am
distraction.
terribly sorry. The pay was good, and I needed something to prove you guys were worth the money I put into you. So I am completely apologize for that. I did manage to get a buyer for the painting, um, but yes, I assure you that won't happen again.
You can see that Jacob is staying silent, but gripping. He's changed his pistol for just his cup, his checkers cup, and
Oh yeah,
he's grabbing it white knuckled.
Cass, when he said that he had no idea about the client, you can tell he is not lying.
Okay.
Yeah. By
Just
the way,
out of
to everyone watching, Cass just gets free successful insight rolls. That's just the thing that they have. So, anyways, go ahead.
So how do you screen potential clients? Obviously, I don't need to know who they are, and that's sensitive information,
It's
however.
usually people I know, friends I made over the years that want favors done, or it's usually people who have quite a bit of a reputation behind them. This was probably one of the first, or at least few times that I took a job for someone I didn't know. That won't happen again. Speaking of which, I got a job for you guys. But you're not going to like it. And from there, we cut from the lair, and you guys are now in another place in Six Towers. It's far away from your lair. Six Towers is quite a sizable district. It used to be a wealthy district, after all. It is now just abandoned houses and abandoned houses, overgrown parks, etc. Um, However, where you're at, is not a mansion or a house or mansions turn into apartments. It is a blue coat station. In particular, a burnt down blue coat station.
It's that
Uh,
final detail that makes me relax.
it's a burnt down blue coat station. You're not in it. You're again, someone probably took notes from you guys because you're in the basement and you're currently talking. You're right currently at the headquarters of the Great Cloaks. Um, Currently, you're ta- you know you came in, you were patted down. Any weapons? These guys used to be blue coats, so any hidden weapons you might have, unless you hid them really well, they probably got taken out of you, right? Swords, guns, anything like that. Uh, I want to say they spent quite a bit of time in checkers, considering that a lot of what he is carrying is just a bunch of flasks and things that they have no fucking idea what they do, right?
Don't drop that.
Sure. And just like all those flask bandoliers and all that, just confiscated. And you're currently talking with um Nessa. She wears the titular gray cloak, has a sword on her, like a sheath sword on her hilt. Um, Interestingly enough, very rugged features, black hair, long tied into a ponytail. But interestingly enough, she also wears an eye patch on her left eye. um, she's staring at you guys, and she's like, "I'm glad that you guys could make it. Not that you have much choice, really, but I still appreciate a punctual meeting."
Well, we appreciate being here, even if we didn't have much choice, so how very polite of you.
Yes. Um, I'm sure I'm grateful for a mutual acquaintance to getting in contact with you. We just gonna be straight to the point. We haven't started our business relationship at the best point. Remember, you one of your upgrades, you had to screw over the gray cloaks for it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still one of our men are still injured from that little incident. We don't know where you guys are staying at, but we know you're in Six Towers, and Six Towers is our turf. So if you want to keep operations here, I would suggest that you make reparations. Cass, when she says that Six Towers is their turf, it's not that. How do I say this? She's not saying the truth, but she wants to believe that's the truth. Right? Okay. Um. So
Talking it into existence.
we have a job for you. There is a blue coat station in Chatterhall. They currently have some paper. One of their inspectors currently is working, has some important documentation that we're pretty interested in, and we like to liberate it from him, if so it were. We will pay, of course, a fair amount of 2 coin for this. Will you take the job?
What do you say, fellows? I mean, they
Also,
have been
also
they have been so understanding about the collateral damage of our last interaction with each other, and they're being polite. We must be civilized in our line of work, must we not?
I quite agree. I shoot Nessa a dirty look.
she catches it. Let me assure you, this job is in your best interest to do, but I won't disclose the details until I know you're taking it.
We'll take it.
Wise choice. The inspectors who are currently working on our particular case, and she does a gesture to around herself. I think you catch that she's talking about the burned down police, like Blue Coat station you're currently in. They're also handling the quite bizarre murder that occurred at the art gallery not too long ago. I'd imagine you guys be really interested to see what details they're working on.
I mean, I'm certainly a bit nosy, but it's none of our concern.
Are you lying?
Yes.
Give me a moment. I just want to make a quick roll to see if she catches that. She gives you a look like she knows she caught that you're putting something under those words, but she can't quite catch your drift. Yeah. Okay. Right. I expect those papers unscathed as soon as possible. Are we clear?
Crystal.
Good.
Completely. What level of on the down low do you need it?
She thinks about it for a second and goes, I don't want this to become the headlines of the Dusk Daily next week.
Footnote: destroy Dusk Daily.
And I'm
Noted.
gonna make a note for a future score. All right. Okay. All right, so and with that, they escort you out. They give you back their weapons, your weapons, and your equipment. And now you're down to plan the Blue Coat Station score. What is your plan of attack here, folks?
What's our approach?
Obviously, you can gather information. Tell me how you want to do it, and I'll answer any questions you have.
Yeah.
Well, would they
I mean-
answer any questions, being that they're former Bluecoats?
Yeah, I want to say like we can retroactively roleplay some questions you might have asked Nessa.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's worth flashing back to that. But I think just so we've got a basic mindset of what it is we're after. What are the papers they want? Because I don't
Okay.
think I picked that up.
All right. So, speaking as a GM, what they want are documents pertaining to the current investigation of the burning of the Six Towers Blue Coat Station. It's the Blue Coat Station they
It's
now
the
call.
arson investigation then.
It's the arson investigation that got them kicked out of the Blue Coats. They got framed for it, right? And they want to clear their name, right? So. They can't do that unless you get these papers from them, or at least they can't start doing it unless they get you get these papers from them for them.
So technically, is it that they're trying to clear their name, and therefore they want a copy of the evidence so they can use that in whatever they're
Yes.
putting together,
Exactly.
or they want to remove the evidence so the evidence is no longer against them?
Basically, they suspect foul play.
Right.
They suspect
So the
suspect
first
foul
one, yeah.
play. Yeah. Suspect foul play. They're conducting their own investigation. In fact, they got some actual legal help helping them with this, right? But yeah, like they just suspect someone's pulling the strings of this, and they want to know who, and they want to probably get rid of it.
Um,
Mhm.
I just want to get out of of the hole I was hiding in.
Mhm.
Finally, when you guys come back, so what's the mission?
Misdirection and grab.
Okay, who are we working for this time?
So, do you remember that very heavily scarred young man who accidentally happened upon your nitroglycerin?
Did it? Okay.
Lovely boy. He was 6'5", and broad shoulders. Looks like a former police officer. Former
Yeah.
blue coat. Yes. Do you remember that little setup job that we did?
Yeah, for sure.
Before we got the mansion. Yes. Well, do you remember those flasks that you said, I'll put it here, nobody will find them here, and he jumped over the wall, jumped onto the nitroglycerin. Yeah, you remember?
Why
Yeah.
would he do that? Why would he do
Why
that?
indeed? Why indeed? Certainly. His friends decided that we owed them a favor. I know, ludicrous. I know, checkers. I mean, really, they should be paying us for the nitroglycerin. You bought that out of your own pocket.
That was a terrible dude. His breath stank, and he would talk too close.
Well, his breath certainly. Well, a lot more than
Well,
his breath stank after he jumped on the.
Yeah.
In fact,
I mean, his breath stinks no more. So, hey, I think we did them a favor.
Oh well, yes. So anyway, rather than having to explain the details, you know how it is. We decided we were just going to help. We're helpful people. We're going to help, and anyway, Cass can explain the details.
Okay, but this has nothing to do with the building that I burned yesterday, right?
No.
This is wait.
Independently burned down police station.
It's kind
Apparently,
of a
it
hobby of
happens a
mine.
lot.
Yeah,
No wonder it was so easy to get the heat off of us.
that's kind of a hobby of mine. I burned 2 the past week. I can't stop.
Can I suggest diversifying your crimes? It's not good to have a signature.
Well, it's not a crime if you don't do it, like if you don't gain anything from it. It's just like when you watch fireworks, are you committing a crime? You're still setting things on fire. So
And don't all the most recognized criminals have, an MO?
yeah,
That's the
I'm not a
quintessential
criminal
part. It's
though.
the recognized.
Yes, I wouldn't
I am.
necessarily call them as.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, finish. You were saying, Cass. Oh,
I was saying I
yeah, yeah.
don't think recognizable is synonymous with successful. You're not meant to hear of criminals.
Yes.
Yeah, but fires are so much fun though.
But wouldn't you rather
I'm
be
not
the
saying I
greatest thief that no
disapprove.
one has ever seen?
No
I'm
one
not
has ever
saying
seen me.
Uh,
Well, I mean, no one that's alive at least.
yes, people tend to run in the opposite direction once you've revealed yourself. Yes.
Or into bombs, as we established.
Yes, yes. They are either not long for this world or fleeing in the other direction. I will give you that.
Yeah.
I should have put you at -2 with the Grey Cloaks because, like, normally you're at -1, but this talk makes me think that you'll probably be at -2.
Hey, they didn't know it's me. I barely get out, and when I get out, it's just to blow shit up. Give me a break.
No, it's blades in the dark. You don't get a break.
I'm just curious about whether on our last heist you could see the explosion from the other side of town. Like, do you still get to appreciate the fireworks, even though you're not there?
I'm very close by. I'm usually like, if I'm gonna set something on fire, I hang around.
It's a point of personal pride.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you got a job to do. How are you approaching this? Again, you can gather any information you want, any questions I will ask. If you had any questions for Nessa, we can retroactively ask them in the flashback.
And sorry to bother masters, but I will suggest arson. But you're welcome to come up with any other solution you want. You're very smart people.
I mean, thank you. I think we've covered arson. I mean, they've covered arson. In fact, arson at the moment, I would say, is approaching passe. I'm saying it's approaching passe. I'm saying this is supply and demand. It's fashion. If you burn out too quickly, you'll completely lose your motif.
See, that's why you're the leader. That's why you're the leader. You get the ideas, man.
Well, Cass is the leader. I just like to mull over the details. I would say we're probably looking at maybe, at the most, maybe subsidence. Something like that. If we are going to go down those lines, I would also say that. Well, you know what, Cass, I was saying to you the other day, wasn't I? I haven't seen Checkers do any of his anesthetics recently.
Those were really quite good last time.
Exactly.
In fact, I think only one of the 5 didn't wake up. You know, it's really quite good going.
And you know what? I think he wasn't going to either way. I think that was by his choice.
I really don't remember that day at all.
It was the gentleman with the purple crystals around his bottom lip.
I think I swallowed some.
Yes, you did. Well,
I think you had to carry me home. But yeah, I will get right on that. And you see my face brighten up again since I was a little bit down because there was no arson. But now I get the chance to poison people. So yeah, let's go ahead.
Yes, if you're unsure about what you made, go and look for the green cup with the purple rim. The purple rim are the crystals I mentioned before. In fact, what you need to make is currently encrusted on the purple mug. On the green mug with the purple rim.
Do I have to try them to see if they're...
Your choice. My recommendation. Maybe not. I would say, why mess with perfection?
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. And then I'll come back to you with the results. So
What's
I
your
do that and leave you guys to plan. You guys,
yeah?
it's your choice.
The second he leaves the door, my forehead goes down on Cass's shoulder and says, "Why did we get him again?"
Fire is quite nice occasionally. Occasionally.
One of the best. He's one of the best.
I very much respect your ability to redirect his focused energy. I think that will be a useful skill. So what do you say we go in at night when it's dark? Sneak in, sedate the guards, take what we need and go.
Yes.
I feel that's underestimating things a little. This is a Blue Cloaks station. There is no time when there will be an empty station. There will
Well,
be.
no, I'm not saying it will be empty. I'm just saying like night is better because you can hide in the shadows. It's always dark in this city. It's always dark in this city.
Didn't want to point that out. Yeah. There will be shifts, and there will be points where there are shift changes. So if we aim for those, maybe that would be best. But we will not be. Well, we can still use stealth, and stealth can be our ally. But we will be looking at subterfuge almost more than the shadows themselves.
I do have a stratagem for you, Cass, but I fear only you would be able to pull it off.
You tell.
Well, you look a lot like somebody who was at that art gallery that night, and you could be livid about it. People are accusing you, and you insist that they update their descriptions, because at the moment they've got the wrong person. It's a gambit, double bluff. You're the only person I know who could pull it off.
Can you come up with a plausible identity for me?
Yes.
Sounds like you're going for a deception score, for a deception plan.
Well, that's what we're discussing.
Yep.
In character, this is me saying to Kat,
Yeah.
are you in for this? Because we could do a lot of stuff around the side whilst Kat is playing the main event.
All right.
Out of
Going for
character,
the
Kat, how are you at deception?
My character? Amazing. Me?
Oh, mood.
We'll work something out.
Yeah.
Oh, mood. Let me tell you, when I was playing Grim in the Star Wars game, like, who's a smooth talker and I'm not. Yeah, anyway, so, all in for the deception plan?
Well, that was the
I'm in,
proposal.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me just and the method of deception will be the double bluff of Cass going in.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so just let me do, just check a few things, and then we'll get to the engagement roll. Okay, so. E2. Whoever's feeling lucky, roll me 2d6.
I got
Actually,
it.
not me after last week.
Yeah, I'll give this one a go.
All right, let's go. 6. Well, 5. It's
5, yeah.
it's 5 plus 6. Yeah, 5 plus 1. Yeah, so 5. Okay, so you're in a risky position when the action starts. So days later, we cut to Charter Hall, one of the bureaucratic heart of Duskwall. This place is where the prestigious Charter Hall University resides, but this is also the home for magisters, politicians, bankers who like to, live near their wealth. Whereas Duskwall is a very vertical city. Very vertical city in account of being sitting on top of a river delta. All right, so a lot of Venice going on. Charter Hall is very horizontal, a lot of like classical architecture. You spot the occasional monument, statue to something very Greek, very classical. right? The Blue Coat Station is takes is I want to say let me come up with hey I do have a random generator for streets, so give me a moment. Okay. I want to say this particular Blue Coat Station is on near a bridge. It's near a bridge, right on the cusp, be, between Charterhall and Brightstone. So it's very near to like the bright lights and the ivory streets of Brightstone, but it's not there yet. It's like on the other side. It's still in Charterhall, right? But it's near the bridge. There's the river is it's flowing underneath, and I want to say that during this particular night, one a certain person from the Dagger Isles walks in kind of haughtily into the Blue Coat Station, just opens the doors, right, and demands to talk to someone. Now I need some help here because you did roll a 5, so you're in a risky position when the action starts. What do you think that could be for?
So
It's not
is
desperate.
this
Yeah.
certain person Cat's
Yeah,
character?
Cass, yes.
So are you going in a bit Karen? I demand to speak to a manager.
Yes, exactly.
Then maybe the risky point is that you're speaking directly to the first person you approach is the officer who is directly related to the case that you're here to complain about.
All right, so okay, I like that. So there's no one at the desk. I don't think there's like a reception desk. You just ended up in a hallway, and like there's some like there's one or two blue coats walking around, and someone comes yes, how may I? And before he can get the help you out, he starts scrutinizing your face. You're in a risky position, Cass. What do you do?
I'd like to speak to the case manager of the murder that happened a few weeks ago. It's in the newspaper. Listen, I'm deeply disturbed because it seems like I don't know what sort of artist you hired, but somebody's seems to think that they look like me, and I've been getting tons of shit for it. I mean, you have no idea. Nobody even wants me in their shop anymore, and I'm just, it's an awkward position to be in for someone. I'm just trying to make a living around here, really.
I just happen to be the manager for that case. What are you rolling?
I guess consort? Or
Sounds
would
good.
it be sway?
Depends on what you're trying to do. Are you trying to get chummy with him, or are you trying?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Then consort will be.
Okay, so you say I'm in a risky position.
You're in a risky position. Standard effect. If you want more dice, you can push yourself for two extra dice, or you can take a devil's bargain.
I will push myself. So remind me what I mark off for that.
2 stress, but you get an extra die to your roll, so you'll be rolling 2d6. See, 4. So you do it, but there's a consequence. I'm gonna keep it simple here. He goes, yeah. Sure, right on this way. So he starts leading you down to his office. What the consequence is that I'm be on guard for this. I'm gonna start a 4-part clock, and this will count until when your cover gets blown. So it's a 4-part clock, and I'm going to 1 or 2 spaces filled in already. What do you guys think?
I'd say it's probably only 1 at this point because we got them flat-footed, so it's risky but flat-footed. I would go with.
Yeah. So Cass, there's currently a 4-part clock, done, and when it reaches 0, your cover is completely blown. You're gonna have to find a way out of that one. But yeah, you got in. You're currently speaking with the case manager, right? First part of this plan has gone on without a hitch, relatively speaking. What is everyone else doing while this is going on?
Well, most of the stuff I would have done is with preparation.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing right now, I'm not even at the police station. What I'm doing is convincing somebody to report the person who is currently in the police station.
Sorry, give me a moment. I was just writing the clock in Roll20. Yeah. Okay. So what were you doing? Yeah.
I'm convincing somebody, getting a friend, getting chummy with them, and say, hey, I need a favor. I need a favor, my friend.
Is this a flashback?
No, I'm doing it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm doing it concurrently. There will be flashbacks. Oh my god, there'll be flashbacks, especially when they start digging into Cass's past. But I'm doing it right now as Cass is doing this. I'm just saying, my friend, I have a favor that I need to ask of you.
Who is this friend you're asking a favor from?
It is just one of the locals. It's not a particular one. I'm not going to have any extra assets for that. I need you to go and say that in is it Charter Hall is the one with the bright lights?
Charter Hall.
Yep.
Charter Hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically Soho. I need you to say that you saw somebody who matches exactly Cass's description in Charter Hall, living it up, drunk as a skunk, and telling the story of the art heist in great detail.
I want to say this person. I want to say you're currently in the docks right now. I like the idea that you're currently in the docks. You're talking to a.
Yeah, I'd be in Silkshore actually, because that's
Silkshore.
where I know most of my people there. He's probably another addict of some kind.
Yeah. Okay. I want to say you're in the opium den then.
Yeah.
All right. You're in the opium den and you're telling this to someone. Remind me, like, do you smoke it from hookahs or is it sort of like somewhere else?
Well, I do.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
I want to say
Not
he
like
takes
those
a
other
hit.
Savages.
He takes a hit from it, blows the smoke up into the ceiling, and goes, "And what do I get out of it?"
I pass over the rest of my pot and say, friendship, my dear boy. Friendship.
Are you looking to consort with this person? Is that what you're doing?
Of course.
All right, then do me a roll. I want to say this is controlled. This is one of your one of your people, right? However, I am making it a roll because he is one of your people. There's a chance this will go wrong.
Oh yeah, there's always a chance it can go wrong. So
yeah,
standard.
controlled.
Yeah. No bonus dice.
Yeah.
And there
5.
we go. Yep.
5.
Yeah. So.
All right, he agrees. He agrees, but he is going to want a cut from the profits.
A businessman. I respect it. Now, time is of the essence, my friend.
All right.
I'll bring this to go.
He gets up, straightens his jacket, walks out the door. What is everyone? And he heads right towards Chatter Hall. I'm gonna say. It's probably gonna. I don't want to start another clock for this, but I want to say it's probably gonna take him a bit to get there.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna
As
be
will I,
like.
because I'll be walking with him. I'll stop short. Obviously, I'm not going in with him, but obviously want to be there just in case something goes wrong.
I want to say around 2 scenes for him to get for you guys to get there. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just say when.
Noted.
And when he arrives, so will I.
Okay. Anyone else? What are you doing? The wheels are in motion.
Mike, you're still
muted.
muted, dude.
So I was thinking we maybe set up a few of those all to coincide so they're inundated. So maybe I'm elsewhere getting people to come in from other directions, but using different methods. Yeah, I'm not going to be very good at consorting or swaying, but I might have a chance to put a command in or two But what I would like to do maybe is pull in some favors. I
Okay.
can have a chat with somebody from the Truth Above, get them to maybe help me out here a little.
Okay. Sure. What are you exactly asking? Like, what do you want them to do specifically?
Basically the same thing.
Okay.
To corroborate the story that this Lucky-like character is in the same location, to reiterate the reports and make them more believable.
Okay. Again, just in case there's a consequence, do me a roll controlled. Any skill you think will fit controlled standard effect.
So I'm thinking that really the only thing I've got is sort of I'm using my pull in the group, but I'm not really high placed, so it's more of a request, like a command rather than trying to gain their sway or get them on side. I'm like,
Mhm.
do this for me, kind of thing, blundering through it rather than making a polite request.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, go ahead and make your roll.
So controlled,
Yeah, control standard.
standard, 1 dice.
Hey, 6. You've been a very how do I say this? I have a word, but like you have been a very diligent member of the order, even if uh
I pull my weight.
you pull your weight.
I put
Yeah,
my
they
part.
agree.
I put my part forward. I do what's requested of me. I
Yeah.
don't ask much of you. I could just do with a little help with this.
They repay your help. Like they find it a bit weird that you're asking this of them and not a book, some money, or some clout. But a favor repaid is a favor repaid, so they agree with it about it without a hitch, and they set towards Charter Hall as well. Oh, this is gonna be a clusterfuck. I can already tell.
So I'm thinking that maybe with that resort, a few of them, because what I'd love is for there to be people, because the cult appeals to multiple different walks of life. So it's going to be respectable, downtrodden folk, the common people as well. So a few people will crop up and feed in with this general description of somebody showing off about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
They agree. They will do it right after, obviously, right after today's sermon, right?
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, that comes first. So, but once that's done, again, a favor repaid is a favor repaid. So they will head towards Charter Hall and do as you asked. All right. I want to say probably. I want to say you were closer. I know that the Truth Above All moves between different rooftops of the city, so I want to say you're a bit closer than Jacob was. So I want to say 1 or 2 scenes before you arrive at Charter Hall. Right. So moving on. Vilcek, is there anything you have planned for this score, or should I go back to cast and see how they're doing?
At the moment, hear the alarm that I placed. Yo, I didn't make this aesthetics. I'll get to it right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and craft.
All right. You're tinkering, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For sure.
I'm going to say I'm going to put you in a risky position because you're rushing this.
All right. Even though I'm in I mean I didn't do it as in a flashback, but yeah.
Oh, okay. You
There you
want to
go.
do it as a flashback or do you want to do it now?
No. I'll do it. I'll take the risky position. I
Right.
got no problem. So
Risky and
I'll do Tinker and do we have any gold?
I mean you guys all got paid at least like I think you managed to split 4 coin between among yourselves, so you should have like 1 coin each.
I don't think I don't think I got any of that because I didn't mark it down.
Yeah, we didn't actually. I think we were meant to agree it out of session and we didn't, so I would say just split it evenly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that we left the 4 coins to, or did I spend it? Well, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and tinker. I'm not gonna add anything because I don't have any coin. So
If you want to take my coin, this is important. and
If
I
I
did
yeah,
ask,
if I can,
and I did ask
if
you
I
to make
can,
it. So I probably
yeah.
would have put the coin in your hand when I asked you to make it.
All right. So I will take the coin, and I will. That sets me up one quality automatically, and then I do a tinker. Risky. Bonus die. No, I don't have any bonus die. I'm on A3. Well,
Uh-oh.
I don't. I don't know what that means because you have to set the quality level. That just means that I have a 4 quality total.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I forgot to review the crafting rules because that usually happens in downtime. So
Hmm.
let me check. I mean, if I have to set the quality, it's probably gonna be like cheap and aesthetic. It's like the equivalent of like trying to knock someone out using moonshine. Um.
Yeah. It
Uh.
says over here that if you want to make like a cheap food or drug, it's like 1. So
Yeah. You don't. However, you're tier 0. You need to at least reach tier 1, and with that result, is not you're not gonna get it. Plus, you were in a risky position to do it, so
I don't. Yeah, I don't know how it works. So let's say it doesn't work for now.
it doesn't work. But you suffer a consequence. So, do you knock yourself out trying to make the anesthetic? But I don't want to take you out of the score.
Well, he
Uh,
doesn't have to be knocked out of the score. He can just be delayed
Yeah.
Or he
so
could
you're
get himself just like sort of
all right.
off.
or
Yeah.
drunk. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right. So what you're going to do is, let me check. Yeah, I'm gonna say you take level 1 harm and just mark it like just write down woozy, right, in the one of the level 1 harm boxes, um,
I,
which means that in roles that I think pertain to in certain roles you're gonna have less effect. So even if something would be standard effect, it'll be reduced to limited effect
less effect. All right.
because you're woozy. All right,
Cool.
so give me a moment. I just need to do something really quickly. All right, so I just like to imagine that what I like to imagine is that Vilcek wakes up, goes, "Oh shit, I didn't make the anesthetic," right? Starts doing it, and then it just smash cuts to Vilcek lying down on the floor.
I've been trying every sample that comes out to see if it works. And I tried 1, it didn't hit. I tried 2, it didn't hit. I tried 3, and all 3 of them hit at the same time. Yeah.
All
Nice.
right. And with that, we cut back to the police station. You're currently sitting at a constable's office, Cass. This person just walked you in. I want to say he's a pretty standard looking Akaros like man. Brown hair, fair skin, probably like a goatee, like a thick goatee, right? He doesn't look like he has a high like he looks like he is a bit of a high station, but he's not like captain or like the priest or anything. I want to say he is like a sergeant or lieutenant, right? But he's right, but he's still in charge of the investigation. He walks you in, motions you to take a seat, right?
Can
Um,
I just ask, before we go into this, Slate, is the plan for me to distract him while you go in, or is it for me to like slide my
I
way
think
in and somehow like get him out of the room for a minute and steal the stuff?
the way this goes is we get you in there, you do your thing, and then we work out as players what we were going to do all along.
yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, you're in. He's motioning you to sit down, take a seat. The office is cozy, all things considered, mostly wood. The guy probably has like one of those small statues of like a dog or something on his desk. You know, a bunch of papers, ink quills, an ink quill. Um, yeah. So like you sit down. He sits down at his end of the desk, and he goes, "So let me get this clear. One of the perpetrators of the Penderin murder that happened a few weeks ago just happens to look just like you."
Well, I don't really know what happened because I've never heard of me having some twin wandering around town, but it's a big city. I'm sure these things can happen. You know, I don't look that unique, as charming and handsome as I am. But you know, it's not a nice situation to be in. I've been turned down for jobs recently because people just don't trust me, and it's really quite hurtful. I'm not sure how I'm going to make ends meet at the moment.
My apologies. Let me get the and he opens one of his desk drawers. He's rifling through a few papers, right? And he looks he then grabs some, starts flipping through like some of them, starts reading them, and he's like, "Yes, it does appear like someone here matches, looks at you, gives you a glance, matches your description almost exactly. Are you planning on are you still trying to sway him? Are you trying to consort him?"
I'd like to sway him into believing that this is all just a
Go
misunderstanding and
ahead.
it's a coincidence.
This is still risky as all hell. Just bear that in mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the backstory I have gone through with with Cass. So I'm going to use the first of my assistants because this is a vital role.
All right. So, how roll sway, you get an extra die because of Jacob's big brain planning. How did you plan for this before we continue with your roll?
We did it by role playing to get a bit meta. Cass and I sat down across the table from each other and we bashed it out. I started asking them questions, furnished as I am with the actual information. Really kind of got cut close to the line. It was a battle of wits. Some was like kind of training for like a debate team or something like that, and just really started hassling Cass. I was really starting to mess with them, and yeah, that's how I did it. Is I pressure tested them.
All right, cool. So yeah, you're rolling 3 dice. You can push yourself for an extra die, or you can take a devil's bargain. 3 dice sounds good to me, though.
Yeah, is it standard effect?
A standard effect, risky position. Okay. He looks at the papers, looks at you, looks at the papers, looks at you. Yeah, I think there might be something wrong. I'm gonna tick down that clock. Uh,
Tick back or tick forward?
Tick forward, so now it's 2 out of 4 out of Cass's cover being blown.
Ooh.
But you do it. Yes, I believe there must be a mistake. Sorry, I will. It's gonna take some time, probably a few days or so, to update the information. I'm so sorry about this misunderstanding. However, you are quite right. There aren't many doppelgangers out in the city, as far as I know, anyways. Care to explain how someone with your exact physical description just happens to be at the scene of a murder?
Murder isn't very common. I mean, it's possible that somebody
When you
had a
say that,
disguise. Or...
you say that, he scoffs. Clearly not from around here, I take it.
No, I'm from. It doesn't matter. No, is murder common around here? I suppose you see it a lot with your job. It must be all day, every day for you. How do you deal with that? It must be so upsetting.
And as soon as he's starting to continue with his continue this conversation, Jacob, You're about just now making it to Charter Hall. What's up?
I'm going to hold back and watch the building whilst my decoy goes in and reports that he's seen effectively Cass in Charter Hall.
Okay, can you do me a favor and just roll a straight 2d6 to see how well of a job he does?
Absolutely.
So that's
A 5 and a 3.
5 and a 3. Okay, so he does it, but okay, yeah, he does it well enough, right? He walks in and says, you just start going, hey, yeah, I saw this person that I think they were involved with the murder of so and so, right? You should check it out. They're out drunk over there, and like the blue coat officer is like, okay, hold on. However, it's still a 5. So I want to say this dominoes into a officer tells his superior, who tells the lieutenant, who's currently talking with Cass. So I'm gonna say that 5 ticks the clock 1 tick towards their cover being blown, if that's okay.
Oh wow, I was working the other direction, but okay, yep, cool.
So okay, so going back to Cass, you're having a conversation with this lieutenant, and his guard has come down a little bit, and then suddenly someone knocks the door, walks in, right? Walks in and he goes, excuse me, I need to take this. He goes over to him. The guy just starts, whispering into his ear, looks at you, and then goes, I'll look into it, thank you. Shuts the door, walks back, right? Walks back. I'm sorry. It appears there's 3 of you walking around now. Or at least the doppelganger you mentioned, because they just were spotted in he's having a hard time finding the words because this is probably the weirdest day of his fucking career. All right.
I do my best to look just as confused and freaked out
Yeah.
as he is.
Simon, however, because he was a success, I want to say that because of this, a patrol of bluecoats were dispatched from Charter Hall over to whatever it is, so that the station is a lot emptier now. It's kind of empty right now. So it was not for nothing, but this guy is smart, so he's probably starting to piece the things together, right?
Okay. In that case, once I see the chances of being...
However, a detail, Simon, sorry, a detail that you notice. You watch him as your opium friend goes in, starts, or, help, and then he walks out, and then you see the patrol of bluecoats walk out. However, you notice something really interesting. Bluecoats. No one in the city, everyone in the city knows about the bluecoats, right? But especially in your job, you are pretty aware about patrol sizes, patrol schedules, that sort of thing, right? You know how many bluecoats they would send were it to be like when they were looking for a murderer, right? Whatever that number is in your head, when this patrol of bluecoats walks out, it's less than usual, which means that the station was already kind of empty before you decided to distract them.
Okay. Right. In that case, I am going to try to attempt to get one of our guys in. I guess it would be our stealth bunny. You up for this, Mike?
Ready and waiting.
I would like to pull out the blueprints that I have obtained using my items. I would like to pull up my blueprints, and I would like to study the building in front of me, and also the blueprints I have, to try and give a support role for Slate getting in there.
All right.
Now that I know that I've reduced the chance, I've given. What I've done is I've reduced the diff. Now I'm trying to boost the roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, sorry,
Sure,
I
go-
forgot. Mike's Slate's entourage would have arrived earlier, right? Would have arrived earlier. Would have done the same thing. My bad. I did forget about that.
Sure.
Uh,
Bundle all that in together.
yeah. Yeah.
I think seeing as Simons was the first one to be rolled for, it's only fair he gets the spotlight moment of the police reacting to that.
Yeah. So I want to say the same thing happens, right? This time without taking Cass's clock. So they're good on that. However, you notice the same detail, all right? The patrol they send out is under what they usually send out, which means this station is understaffed. You don't know why though.
Well, that stands in our favor.
Sure. So yeah, I want to say then now that both Jacob and Mike are together. What are you doing?
I've sprinted across the roofs as soon as the meeting was over, so I may have even got here a little bit ahead of the guys I sent on.
Yeah.
And so I've shimmied down from the roof and joined Jacob down on the ground. Have we got a way in, boss?
You know, I don't like that word. Cass is the boss. I just.
What do you prefer, chief?
Jacob. Right. I've made the board the best configuration that I can. Now you, my fine fellow, you're Queen's Knight. You're what we need. Reduced number in there already. Reduced it even further with the stratagem. I pull out the map and go here. This is the route that I expect to be the best possible option for you to get in. I know that eventually Mike's going to have to do a prowl roll or whatever it is to get himself in under disguise. I hand him my convincing cover identity. Was it fine cover identity? There we go.
Yeah.
And I point at him with the point at the map, and say, "What do you think, old man? You ready?"
I look what he's given me. I look at the map. I look at the building. Don't need to be ready. Let's just do it.
To me,
As you wish.
give me a roll. This is risky. Standard effect.
Do you need me to roll for the setup, or just Mike to roll for the...
If you want to, you can assist, and that will count as the setup.
Yeah, okay. I'll assist. Yeah.
Yeah, so take 1 stress. You get an extra die, Mike.
Yeah. And I'll do a regular assist here.
I mean, my usual approach is that I've looked things over. I'd studied this map already, so you showed it to me. I already had all the exits planned. I got all the routes.
Yeah. Give me a roll.
So it's all about my prep time.
Go.
Risky, you said?
Risky standard.
Standard and a single bonus die.
Yeet.
So I'm going in, knowing the lay of the land and looking for the opportunities that I expect, and adding to that the knowledge that they're low on staff.
Yeah. A 6. Hey. Okay. Without a hitch, you sneak in. Are you going again? So you're sneaking. Yeah. Go ahead. Tell me how you
my
do
approach to this is I've got this cover that I've been given, and that's in my back pocket. Almost literally, I've taken it and just ignored it, put it straight in the back pocket. I walk in, and it's everything you expect about avoiding the cameras in a setting that has no surveillance technology.
Yeah.
So there's people giving direct line of sight to the door, but I time it so that I'm stepping in as people are crossing the hallway, blocking their view.
Okay.
I'm going in via the corners, but never in a way that actually clashes with anybody's expectations.
All right.
I'm always the guy that's just stood where you expect somebody to be stood,
Exactly.
or I'm not stood there at all.
And like that, from Nessa, you would have already gathered that what you're looking for is in the archives, right? In the Blue
Yeah.
Code archives, right? Which is, probably like on in the basement or in the bottom floor.
Mhm.
But just like that, just by hiding in the right crowds, just by moving at the right time, you get there, and you're at the archives. You still don't know where the papers are going to be, right? That's going to take some time, but you're
Yeah.
there.
There's this moment
However,
where there's a moment where a couple of the guards are outside having a fag break.
yeah.
And they kick off this, but
Actually,
I step out as they step back in, and I'm stood in a small courtyard, only accessible from inside the office, inside the station. And there's the grill over the basement entrance, and I open that and I slide in, and I'm in the basement,
yeah.
in front of the door for the archives. But
Okay, so you're at the front door of the archives. Again, inside the precinct, you notice that it's really empty. Even there are no guards guarding the archive door. And you find it kind of strange. Blue coats are numerous. Like, this is, even with the patrols out, this is way understaffed. And okay, so yeah, you make it to the archives. You have done it. And then you feel cold. And a nearby electrical light starts flickering. And from behind your head, you hear suddenly you know why this place has been so empty. And with that, we're taking a 10-minute break.
Well done. Yeah. Wow.
So we'll be back in 10 minutes, hopefully, as we see how they get themselves out of this one.
A big thank you to both Hermit and Zola for resubscribing, and just a bit of a reminder before we quickly go to the break, that the Discord link is below in the channel notes if you want to join the community. But until then, we are going to a break. See you then.
Yeah, see ya.
Nice.
Welcome back, everyone. Sorry, I don't know if that was 10 minutes or not, but we're
It's
still on
traditional.
brand.
It's
It's
traditional.
traditional. It's
Yeah.
What
traditional.
is time,
Yeah,
anyways?
exactly.
Fake. Anyways, so yeah, when we were left off, the crew were engaging in a particular score to retrieve some information on behalf of the Grey Cloaks, and everything was going on smoothly until they found out. Slate, in particular, found out why the precinct has been so empty. So, on that note, Checkers, you're waking up from your moonshine-induced coma. Uh,
I'm running to where the whatever we are. I'm
sure,
like,
you're
yo,
hailing.
and I'm just taking the empty vials. I'm like, I'm late. I'm late.
Yeah,
So yeah.
you hail a cabbie. You tell them where to go. You didn't even have the address. You just tell them some place in Shadow Hall to go find. They drive you. They start taking you there. Uh, Cass still filibustering with the with the lieutenant. Um, Another report came in of a lookalike just like you. Probably the same one you were talking about. Maybe not. Maybe it's you know. Uh, who knows, right? But he's kind of overwhelmed. It's not every day that someone comes in and says, "Hey, my evil doppelganger just committed a murder," and then multiple people come in and go, "Yeah, we saw someone just like that person do a murder," and you're talking to that person at the moment. So yeah, he's having a time. Let's just say it like that. He's having a time. Um, However, right, so he just goes, "Oh, yeah, I'll look into this. I'll sort it out. I'll clear your name. I sorry, it's been a day. Um we shall do this as soon as possible. I can't give you any time frame, but this information will be rectified. I just have to go down to the archives, however, to get the relevant papers. Um Anything else I can help you with? I'm sorry."
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. And I'm just really grateful. And oh, that's beautiful. That little China dog. You have a dog like that?
Used to, yes.
I just start going on a monologue about how much I love this breed of dog, and I don't give him a chance to interrupt. I just keep going and going and hoping that he'll stay and try to be polite and listen to me.
Sounds like you're trying to consort.
Right.
Note to self: consort and filibuster are the same.
Could be.
Same skill.
Could be. Consort is just trying to get chummy with someone. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
What is my position?
it's still risky. You're talking to a lieutenant inside a blue coat precinct, right?
Okay.
So
Can I push myself?
for an extra die, absolutely take 2 stress. You can also take there we go, 5. You do it, but there's a consequence. You do it, so I don't want to say your cover's blown just yet, right? However, I need to come up with another consequence.
How about that Cass becomes more memorable because of the extended time?
I'll mark that as heat. You're gonna take extra heat
Yeah,
after
like a
this.
heat.
Yeah.
That works.
So yeah, I'm just gonna mark that down for extra heat.
I was about to say heat is kind of redundant at this point.
Okay.
Tell lava that it's gained a degree and it goes meh.
So yeah, but you managed to distract him long enough. I guess he kind of appreciates the conversation. It's the only thing I can say. Jacob, what are you doing? Yes, Mike, I'm leaving you for last. Why did you ask? Jacob, what's up?
At this point, I'm reading the situation to make sure that everything's in place. So I'm there saying, right, so I've got the Hound in the archives, and I'm not entirely sure why. I'm not entirely sure the cast knows why they're doing what they're doing, but I'm hoping that they're playing their part well. We'll see how that pans out a little later. Okay, where the hell has Checkers got to? I'm kind of relying on a little more chaos if we need to get out in time. Okay, so let's see. We're in the right station. If Cass was sent out by now, then it wouldn't be the station that had the evidence for us. 2 birds, 1 stone. Fantastic. I just hope that Slate finds not only the evidence for the Grey Cloaks, but also the evidence for us. And he's just there. He's kind of focusing on that. So at the moment, I'm not really doing anything. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if there's an equivalent role or action or whatever for this, but I'm going to hold myself in reaction. So if I can delay myself in the initiative, I guess, whatever the equivalent is, I'm going to be there to react. I'm priming
Something
myself for
you can do.
reaction. Brace yourself.
There's no holding an action in Blades. However, something you can do is called a setup action, right? Set up another character with your action. If you achieve it, any team members who follow up get +1 effect or improve position. So
Yeah.
you can do something along those lines.
Oh,
What
is
are you doing?
improve position from risky to controlled?
So you can make a desperate position risky or a risky position controlled.
Okay. So yeah, through my what would it be? What would it be, Jacob? How would you do this? Yeah, it probably would be whilst all this is going on, he's sowing gossip around the police station so that every blue coat that comes back and every blue coat that leaves is walking past people who are gossiping about the stuff that I am setting off in action. Have you
Sure.
heard they found Cass's lookalike? They found them. They're pursuing them now. The bluecoats are going to get them, lulling them into a false sense of security. So whatever you think would be good for gossip.
I don't think this requires.
Gossip
I don't think this requires an action roll. I think Jacob is proficient enough in this type of work. He's done it a million times before. He will do it a million times again. So, what you can do is just roll your 2d6. No, actually, no. I'm just gonna say you do it. Yeah, you just do it.
Okay.
You just spend your time talking to the charter hall passerbys, the office clerk, the Charter Hall University student who's running late for his class, talking to the occasional coffee store owner, just doing the rounds, spreading rumors, spreading gossip.
Yeah,
It
and
takes time.
I'm just putting
but-
bias into people's minds, knowing that at this point I'm playing the butterfly.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. You just do that, and I want to say that anyone who takes advantage of that particular thing you just did will get +1 position or effect.
Okay.
Cool. Slate. So, you're spending.
That tell I have of hot under the collar, my internal heat being ratcheted up that one extra notch. Coming in from the cold, I always feel the draft, so I was very certain that I closed the window behind me as I sank into
Oh,
the
you
cellar.
did.
So when
You
the room went cold, automatically I knew what was coming, and you could see that on my face as the camera sort of focuses on me and leaves the background blurred. You can see the color actually drop a shade, so less orange, more pale. As I realize, hang on a minute, it's here. I feel I feel the draft behind me, and my hands sink from camera behind me as if I'm, pulling my clothes tighter, my cloak tighter behind me. And I see the steam of my breath is more than you would almost expect from anybody else.
Okay.
But that's that internal heat again. It's not like I'm breathing fire, but it's now almost billowing steam into the cold air as I'm thinking very quickly now, trying to be prepared for something that you can't really prepare for.
You are standing in front of the archive doors. You just did what you just all said. The only thing you're certain it's behind
well.
you, but you don't dare to look back. You feel the hairs on your back stand on end, either out of fear or out of its electroplasmic aura, and you hear it
And
again.
it's really uncomfortable for me because I literally haven't got a hair on my body.
Fair. Yeah, I forgot about that. My bad.
But yeah, my hackles still rise.
Yeah.
Goosebumps all over.
Goosebumps. And you hear it again. Just a very low, cold hiss. Now, the way ghosts work in Blades in the Dark is you got three choices. You freeze, you flee, or you risk taking a shit ton of stress to continue doing whatever you were doing. What's it gonna be, Slate?
I'm tempted by one or three, but I think there's another option.
Yeah.
So this is where I call for a flashback.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So that package I've been given isn't just a cover; it's preparation. Because this team is all about knowing before we go in what we're going to be facing. So if there was a known spiritual presence in this building, we would have found that out and had some form of preparation. So Check has left his preparation for the concoction he's done for Pride quite late, and that's part of the reason why after 1, 2, 3 attempts, was it, and he passed out, he was running late for Pride. The reason for that was he and I had to work on something to deal with the spirit.
I like that. There is an item on your character sheet called electroplasmic ammunition. It could have been that.
Okay, I mean that sounds like it gives me a fighting chance.
It sure does. However, if you're going, I'm gonna allow that flashback stress free. It's already something written on your character sheet.
Yeah.
Actually, no. If I just take one stress, I don't think it's gonna be that much. But I think there should still be a cost.
Okay, I'll put
Right.
a stress in. I'll put a stress
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, and also since it's with me, I could probably just do the protect teamwork action thingy and just suffer the consequences instead of my teammate. So I'll check the.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
Let's
because
do that.
I was the one working, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So the
All
stress
right,
is on
so-
the crafter. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah. So.
up all night.
God. Okay. So.
Hopefully, this isn't going to unravel too much because it's
Okay,
now going to be dependent on my dice rolling.
Before we get to the roll, again, mechanically speaking, if you want to do anything other than freezing or fleeing in the presence of a ghost, you have to make a resistance roll. All right.
Okay.
Basically, the way it's gonna work, right, is Slate. Give me a moment. You're going to roll as many dice as you have in resolve, right? So that's gonna be 1. And you're gonna take as many stress as 6 minus your highest result.
Okay.
So for this in roll 20, what you're gonna want to do is just click on resolve. When it says resolve, just click on it, and it's gonna be a resistance roll.
Okay. What are my options to get bonus dice?
For this, if I remember correctly, you don't get bonus dice for resistance rolls, right? But for your roll that we're gonna do afterwards, the same rules apply.
Okay, then in which case, no bonus dice. I'm
No
rolling
bonus dice.
1 dice. 3.
3. So 6 minus 3. You take 3 stress from resisting
Okay.
the ghost's harrowing, haunting influence. So you freeze. You put your hands behind your back as if you're straining your jacket, right?
Yeah. I was reaching for the little parcel in my pocket and withdraw, I'm hoping, 2 blades.
I was because it's electroplasmic ammunition. I was thinking you could use, like, you were loading in the bullets into your gun.
Ah.
Oh
I was hoping for
yeah.
more stealth. I was hoping for more stealth than that because I'm in a police station. I don't want to be firing weapons.
True, but for now, I'm gonna read the book later and, like, make another ruling. For now, if you want to get rid of a ghost, it's not going to be stealthy unless you're a whisper.
Oh yeah.
Okay, then
yeah,
in which
yeah.
case I'll pull in the fact that we've got that stacked dice from Pride's effects outside that's
Absolutely.
holding up as many people as possible. So there's as few possible witnesses of this stratoscopic, massive amount of noise I'm about to make.
Yeah. So
Can I with flashback? Can I prepare kind of like a silencer of some kind so it doesn't make that much noise?
here's the thing: we're dealing with, like, 18th and 19th century weapons. We're talking breech-loading pistols, muskets.
Yeah.
Making a silencer, it's probably going to be rough. I don't.
Okay, so rather than a silencer, a muffler.
Yeah,
A muffler,
absolutely.
yeah.
A muffler. Yeah.
Yeah, just a lowered effect.
So kind of like that,
Sure.
like the thing on the end of a trombone.
Yeah.
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 So, I want to say, Vilcek, take another stress and do me a tinker roll. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, you get to choose what roll you make, but imagine it's gonna be tinker. My bad.
Am I in risky position or controlled?
I want to say you're in control position.
What's my effect?
Standard.
Standard. All right. I'm not drunk. I wasn't drunk for this, right?
I mean, you tell me.
No, I mean like as in the harm.
I phrased
yeah,
it that this,
this
before, I
won't
was
apply.
phrasing it this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was phrasing this as if it was before you were doing all that.
Yeah.
medicinal
No.
stuff.
I say that your wooziness does not apply for this. This is before you imbibe moonshine, essentially.
No, yeah, no bonus dice, right?
No, unless you want to push yourself, take 2 stress, and get an extra die.
Can't.
Oh no!
Go ahead then.
6.
6.
Woo!
Hey. So
All right,
he
I
makes
invented the suppressor.
you. This drunk. Okay.
I
I was
imagine
gonna
it just being like, hey, I was trying to work on like a magazine extender for guns or something, or a longer barrel, but for some reason this doesn't work. So do you want to have a go at it? And I just hand you the first suppressor, not knowing what it actually does.
I made a thing.
Yeah.
Go use my thing.
Yeah, try it
Basically,
out.
I see this as part of the loading mechanism. So basically, I put the charge into this, and then I put this into the gun.
Yes. I like that.
And so my gun becomes a little bit less bearable, and I have to adjust my grip. I have to hold differently, so I'm pulling the gun out from behind me.
So what this is going to do, you're still in a desperate position, my friend, because this is a ghost right behind you.
Yeah.
This is the definition of desperate, right? However, I was going to give you greater effect regardless because of the electroplasmic ammunition, but the silencer still gives you greater effect. So it's essentially double greater effect. I don't know, it's still greater effect, right? So yeah, shoot your shot. Literally.
Okay, so I think this is hunt, if I'm right.
This is
Using the precision.
that sounds like a hunt.
Precision
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah, this sounds like a hunt.
And you were saying this is desperate.
desperate, so you get to mark an XP.
Great. Did you say great effect?
Greater effect.
So there are 2 more steps up on that. There's extreme and 0 on this.
I don't know much about extreme effect, so I'm gonna keep it a greater for now. So, yeah, I don't
I'm
want to
fine
get
with
too
that.
crazy. Yeah.
And I have the bonus dice from Pride's effects outside, trying to keep the volume down.
Yeah. I'll
And
yeah.
and am I getting a bonus dice from what Checkers did?
No,
can't
he
remember.
was giving you better effect essentially.
Okay, so that's just the one there. I'll submit that now. I get a 6. There is a 1 in there as well. I don't know if that counts.
No, it's just the highest result. So it's a 6.
Okay.
So you do it. No consequences. Right? So
To the heart, you're to blame.
you give Twitch a DMCA.
So I'm
So
assuming that if he got a 4 or 5, that would have been the noise thing going off, but because he got a 6,
Yeah.
that's
The
clean.
silencer is kick-ass. I am loving it. So I throw myself away from the doorway that I was stood in front of, away from the window that I came through, and distinctly away from the ghost, falling backwards, pulling 2 pistols out of. I've only got 1 silencer, pulling out 1 pistol, and the blunderbuss of that is greater than previously expected due to the huge contraption stuck in the barrel. Fire that towards the ghost, and then the ectoplasm just sort of erupts out the end. But the pullback inside the barrel sort of softens the sound as this blast just opens out in front of me, and enveloping the ghost.
The blast goes off, and as it hits the ghost, you turn around and you actually manage to get through the haze of adrenaline and fear pumping through you. You manage to get a good look at the ghost, and it looks like a woman, white gown. You don't know if it's a sleeping gown or a wedding gown, right? Ashen looking, right? You can't make out the details through her features are kind of blurred through how much time she spent in the ghost field. But something you managed to catch is that her throat is slit, like end to end. You catch this detail just as you turn around, fall back, point the gun, pull the trigger, shoot, and the last thing this ghost lets out is a harrowing, piercing shriek that echoes throughout the building. Right? Goes throughout the building. They didn't hear the gunshot though. Right? And the force of the electroplasm plus the discharge of electroplasm that the ghost just gave out basically gives off a localized EMP, and all the electrical lights in the building go out.
Yes. Why is nobody happy about that?
Cass,
So
Run.
Cass, you were just talking nonsense with this lieutenant when suddenly the power goes out. It's pitch fucking dark.
I run.
You run. You're just in the middle of your thing. Power goes, and you even fucking drop the chair as you just fucking bolt out the door. He just goes, wait.
They just Batman the way out of there. Yeah, they just Batman.
Jacob.
Okay.
You're standing outside. Like you already did the rounds, but you're still trying to play like fifth dimensional chess through time and space, right? Right? You're thinking about all the variables, all the yada yada, and then you see the building and a little bit of the surrounding streetlights go completely dark. The entire building is off.
He looks stimulated by this. And he's he's there studying everything, waiting for the opportune moment, and he is going to. Oh God, how would I do this? He's going to give himself a. Oh. Am I going to take something out of Slate's playbook.
Well, last time we agreed that when the blue coats turned up, that would be our universal symbol. We can't do that this time.
Yeah,
We're in
they
the
were
blue
already
coats home.
here.
I mean,
So we said
we knew that if we had that flashback for the ammo, we knew that there was a ghost. So
I completely
maybe
forgot about
so we
something.
knew that the lights were going to go when it got shot, because that kind of thing
Cass.
happens before.
Before you bolt, I forgot about this. My bad. Before you bolt, this is the guy working on your case. He probably has the papers related to your case. Do you want to get those out before leaving?
Well, he said they were in the archives. That's where he was going.
All right.
Thankfully,
yeah,
we've got a guy there.
My memory is bad. My memory is bad. So yeah.
Yeah. I haven't
No?
forgotten that this is the guy working on our case. That's why when you said Jacob, I said I'm going to find a vantage point. My vantage point is that if I can take this guy out, if he does leave the building...
Do you want another dead body on you?
Not necessarily. I just want to...
I just emptied this place of ghosts. Do not add another.
Oh, no, okay,
It wasn't
okay.
murder
Actually,
if it was
I'm going to
dead.
flashback.
Flashback. Go ahead.
I want to... I've got it. I want to flashback studying this guy. I knew this guy was going to be there. I knew this guy was going to be who Cass was going to be speaking to. I want to dig for dirt on this bitch. Right?
Also, Mike, your camera went out.
Yeah, Mike's doing a thing. So I'm going to dig for dirt on this bitch. And if I succeed in the role, when Cass bolts, they have in their hand evidence that I can use to blackmail him.
And the little porcelain dog.
Yeah.
I've got the evidence and your little dog too.
the compliments weren't fake. I wanted.
Okay, so
We will destroy this whole man's life.
I'm gonna give you.
Only if he doesn't play ball.
Here's the thing.
I want this guy in my
Simon.
pocket.
If this guy turns out
Simon.
to be John Wick and he hates us killing his dog, we're in trouble.
Simon, I'm gonna make it. This flashback is gonna be too stressed on account that now you made me have to come up with details for this NPC I just made.
Yep. I fully take the DM tax. Yep.
Yeah. So, are you? So you say you're studying this guy, or are you consorting with your
I'm studying him, and I'm using Salia, my information broker.
Okay, but study means you're poring over information or like scrutinizing someone, whereas consorting is actually talking with your contacts.
Actually,
So,
I'll
which
consult
is-
then. I just don't want to
Use me.
be one-trick pony. But if I get to use Salia,
Simon, Mike is trying to tell you something.
yeah.
Use me. I'm your information gatherer. Let me do this flashback.
If you want to, I'll take the stress back. But yeah.
No, you get the fucking DM tax, motherfucker.
So I take the stress and he does the roll.
Yeah.
Hey, I love it. What can I say? That's my word.
I'm
Bring it.
bending the rules. You're making me come up
Hey,
with
he
details
already
and a
got-
life story to this
he already
guy I
got-
just made
Yeah,
up.
yeah. You thought
think
this
it's-
was some nameless NPC. Welcome to my side of the DM screen, motherfucker. Start writing.
Oh no, Simon, don't you start. I have seen your NPC lists. You are not coming up with that on the fly.
The word is
I am-
spreadsheet. I think you'll find. But yes.
Yeah,
Sure,
but
no,
Simon,
I'll take the stress.
Yeah.
Take
go
the
for it.
stress.
Also,
then,
just
fucker.
so you guys know it, he's already got 3 crits in a row, so our odds are pretty great.
Well,
So,
they were until you said that sentence. So.
Oh shit!
I mean,
Are you ready for
I
3
know
ones?
what the gambler's
Are you?
fallacy is. I know what the gambler's fallacy is, and I know how to manipulate it.
But yeah, Simon, you take the stress because fuck
I've taken
you.
it. I've taken it.
And Mike, you're gonna be gathering the information for Jacob. How are you doing it? Are you hunting the target? Are you tracking him,
Yeah.
or are you studying him?
So it would be a hunt to gather information about their movements and their connections. So we knew going in that this guy had an attachment to his dog that he's lost. You did say that he used to have a dog like
He used
this.
to have a dog, yeah.
I hate to be the one that killed that dog. Let's just see how that goes.
I was gonna blackmail him, not kill his dog.
Wait, if I kill a dog, does that set off the ghost toll? Does that bell ring for dogs dying?
Oh man,
Does the bell go off every time you have a chicken meal? I mean, how does this work?
Let's go.
I feel like I'm sensing inter-party conflict coming up very, very soon with the dog thing.
I've not killed the dog. Let's just say that maybe we have the dog.
It was just a fucking small detail. God damn it!
It's like,
Did we?
yeah, I like
warned-
dogs,
I
especially
warned
dogs
everybody
like
at the top.
Button. You know, that little spot on the back of his neck.
I warned everybody
Yeah.
going in. I am a background colour fanatic. You don't put
Alright.
anything on the table unless you want me to pick it up. So,
I
what
hate this
is
and
my
love this at the
position?
same time.
What is
Control,
my
fuck it, you
position?
get a control position.
Okay. Standard effects.
Standard effect.
I'm getting no bonus dice out of this.
Go ahead, yeah.
Oh, it's a 4.
You do it, but there is a consequence. So, I'm gonna treat this as kind of a gather information role. So I'm gonna give you as much details as a 4 would allow, right? Tracking this guy, you know, you managed to follow some of his. You managed to more or less get an idea of his schedule, where he frequents, where you know how he spends his free time, etc. He is a blue coat, so like any self-respecting officer of the law, he is corrupt. He likes to extort he doesn't do it as much as some other blue coats. Blue coats do vary depending on what district they are. Blue coats in Crow's Foot are basically just a gang with a badge, but he is in Charter Hall, so he's a little bit more sophisticated about it, right? You know, he does take bribes from the Ministry of Preservation, you know, a bit of some of the nobility, you know. He does make the rounds towards Chatterhall University. You don't know why, all right? It's not. He doesn't look like the studious type. Maybe a relative, son, daughter, brother, whatever, right? But yeah, like the information you can gather about him. I want to say this. You do this in the span of like maybe 1 or 2 days, right? This is a flashback after all. So yeah, you get an idea that his hands are dirty like any other blue coat. His particularly because he is a lieutenant, right? Right. I want to say okay. I want to say he's taking bribes, probably from. Okay, I have a better idea. You see him taking bribes from someone, and this is when it gets a little weird for you. You see him talking to some person, and you're a very meticulous guy. You focus on the details, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at the person he's talking to, you try to memorize, okay, he has this type of face, that type of facial hair, these type of eyes. I can memorize his hair. But as soon as you turn your head away from him, you have completely forgotten how he looked like. Every time you try to recall his facial features, you just get static. That can't be it. This is your thing. This is your occupation. You know, you track people. You make You make steel. Like you're so meticulous in your planning that you wouldn't forget something as as common as facial features or the appearance of someone. But every time you try recalling someone from this person, you just draw a blank.
Well, when I feed that back to the rest of the team, I'm obviously disturbed by my inability to summarize who this is that we've got dirt on. So I explain the situation, the location, as much detail as I can, and then I come to the part where I try to describe him, and I'm like, every person I've ever seen is a loud, echoing shout, an echoing, bellowing shout in my memory of details upon details. Every time I recall this person, they're a mere whisper, a tiny sliver of a voice at the back of my mind that I can't pin down. I can't even remember their accent.
The only thing you
And
know
that
is that
disturbs me.
only thing who knows is that whoever this person is paying the captain quite a handsome pay, probably more than what the blue coat salary is.
So, Rodrigo, this was leading to Cass having an asset that they can steal when
Yeah.
they bolt in the dark. What's that asset?
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, the whole clusterfuck kind of like screwed up my thought process. Um,
So we know the money was being given to this lieutenant.
okay.
Yeah.
On top of that, okay, I'm gonna give you on top of that detail. I'm gonna say, you probably gather something about this lieutenant that is enough for him to lose his job. I will allow you guys to come up with it. I'm sorry I
Okay.
spent too much time on that little
No.
plot.
That's fine.
No, I like it though.
I stole his pocketbook, which has details that he wrote down of his money coming in and out. He has far more money than he should have on his salary.
Sure, that sounds good. Yeah,
Uh,
I will
yeah,
allow that.
his tax returns. Actually, that happened
Yeah.
to a friend of mine yesterday.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you have that information now. What's next? What's next?
Okay.
The power's out. Mike literally just ghost busted a ghost by the medium of gun.
Cass is fleeing. I guess the only thing that's needed now is on Mike in the present day, because that was a flashback.
Yeah, that was a
to
flashback.
get
Yeah, sure.
the objective.
Okay, yeah. You're still
Okay,
you're still in front of the archive door.
Yeah.
You probably have a limited amount of time. Because even if you didn't hear the gunshot, the shriek plus the power outage is probably going to attract some medium of attention. So you're going to have to do this quickly.
Yeah. So I pull my thieves' lantern out, and I am, I presume, cracking the lock in the door. In fact, maybe more forcing the lock in the door. Get through into the archives, and I've got a general gist of where I'm going and what I'm after. We're after
I
two files.
I want to say the door is unlocked, probably a bit
Okay,
like
fair enough.
stiff, but it requires a little bit of forcing,
Yeah.
but nothing you can't handle.
Okay, thanks. I know basically what I'm looking for. The place isn't immaculately organized, but it's clear which files have been most recently active, and I'm heading
They're
towards those.
vaguely arranged in alphabetical order. Vaguely.
Okay. So I'm working my way through as fast as possible. I'm going to be prioritizing the target that is the job before our own.
Okay.
I want that first because that's what we're paid for.
Yeah.
We can get out of our own trouble later.
And yeah, we already have a way of getting out of our own trouble, even if we don't get our own evidence, because Cass is currently holding it.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. This is the backup plan. So we have. I'm searching through this hunt for information, or a survey, I guess, for information. The room is dusty, and there are very few bits that have been disturbed in a while. There are clear paths in the floor as to where people are going most often, and that's what I'm using to kind of guide me and start searching there. What that's put me in front of may not be the exact file, but I work from there through the alphabet to the bit that I know that I'm after. And it's the name of the precinct was the.
It's Charterhole.
So the Charter Hall precinct. So I'm looking for the C's, I guess. So I'm coming back to C.
I'm gonna give you a more specific name, but they're in the Charterhole district. Yeah.
Okay. It's organised by district first, then, and I go for those files, and I find the documents that I'm after. I'm stowing those away. And now I'm
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood. For the sorry, my bad. For the Great Cloaks, it's specifically the case of the Six Towers precinct that got burned down. Yeah. whereas the art gallery that went wrong was in Brightstone.
Okay. Well, it's the awesome records that I'm after first.
Yeah, so you're going looking for the Six Towers one. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, are you giving me a roll? I mean,
Yeah.
you're on for
I was going to keep. I was basically going to keep describing success after
For a time.
success until you told me to roll. So I'm glad you stopped me. So
Yeah.
I might. I don't feel this is controlled, and I've got people
risky.
bursting down the door. Risky, yeah. Standard effect because it's not a big thing that I'm trying to achieve.
Sounds about right.
I'm not putting extra dice in.
4. Okay, so I want to say there is you do it, but there's a consequence. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I am going to get rid of Cass's cover get blown clock because they just skedaddle out of there. And I'm gonna make a new one. Still a 4-part clock.
And how much is filled in?
I want to say I'm gonna put it at 2. Like it's 4 and it's already halfway done. This is basically oops, no, that was cancel. This is how much time you're spending looking for it. There's a lot of papers. You're doing it semi in the dark. So I want to say that when that clock fills in, the blue coats are gonna be back, and they're probably gonna catch you red-handed, right?
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. So it's halfway through.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, you managed to
Um,
find the time it takes for but yeah, you managed to find the Six Towers, the arson case. Now you can just bail out of there or find the papers pertaining to you guys.
We're halfway there.
Okay. So I'm going to make use of a breath of fresh air for a moment. I'm going to check to see what's going on outside, if anybody's heard me. So I'm basically poking my head up into the courtyard I came in through.
Yeah.
Stealthily, just taking care just to see whether or not there's a large number of people back yet. And based on the clock, I'm going with no, that's not the case. So I feel okay.
Okay.
Um,
So let's do it this way. You take a look at what's going on outside, and with that, the camera pans from you to Jacob's perspective.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks.
So yeah, Jacob, you're standing outside. You're still doing, your whole, finger tenting, scheming thing. You see Cass run out of that fucking precinct like the devil's after them. As far as you know, they might as well be. And also, just as that's happening, a carriage runs past you, and from it falls out Vilcek. Checkers.
Yep. With my hands on my hips, I'm like, was this me? Just what?
Yes, that would be you. You're a bit late.
But it's going
How did I-
swimmingly.
How did I make this happen?
Well, a master never reveals his secrets.
One
Well,
of you two's gonna need to go in because I can't go back in there.
Have you got
I-
it? Have you got it?
I've got the.
Then
But I
you
haven't-
need to not be here then. Go. Right. In that case, the only thing that's left now, Checkers, is to make sure that Slate gets out. Did you get the stuff?
Do we need to? Does he need to be alive though?
Yes. Alive is definitely one of the success criteria. I wrote it. Remember, bottom left of the page?
All right. You said
us alive. There we go.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
as alive as
Okay.
possible.
Back on the page. So the blue coats are away looking for ghost Cass at the moment. Not literal ghost Cass again. Alive is the objective.
Right.
Looking for the decoy Cass. When they come back, if they come back and Slate still has not left and given us the signal, we're going to need a distraction. Now, the distraction, very important, the distraction shouldn't reveal us. Yes?
So not an arson.
No. Again. Going back to the team talk. Remember.
Yeah.
Don't.
Mm,
Passe. Next time.
yeah.
Did you get
You.
the anesthetics?
I have some inside me.
Good.
I-
We'll put that as a partial credit, shall we? Uh, do you have anything on you? Most importantly, do you have anything on you? Not flame based. See.
You're really
let's-
making it hard for me right now.
I know. I'm looking for you to stretch yourself into diversity. What you have at the moment, intensity, nailed it. Definitely. What I'm looking for is diversity. Yes?
Ah,
Long
see.
and wide. Yes? Okay,
Hmm.
so think. Blue coats come back. Slate hasn't exited yet. And the distraction that we need that comes from you is... Huh?
I think I got it. Okay.
I
So
can't wait.
I actually my original plan was not to steal anything, but like make a copy of it. But what are the chances that I could have made like a disguise of some sort? Because it says here that I also can't tinker disguises.
Yeah,
Like,
if you want to do it as a flashback, we'll
Yeah.
make a roll to see how good the disguise is.
Oh, can
All
I put a
right.
pitch in for the 6? If we get a 6, can I put a pitch in for what it is?
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
want to go V for Vendetta. I want to get it so that if he gets a 6, everyone in the district more or less looks like Cass.
Awesome. Oh, okay.
We've
Okay.
been handing these out as, clothing. Oh, here it's called. Yes, from the church, didn't you know? From the was it the sky above?
Cass.
Yes. Here we go, and everyone will be dressed like Cass.
Cass, I have a question. What does this do to your ego?
I mean, everyone's suddenly very well dressed.
They say, what was it? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Isn't it?
Flattery,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, a couple of people got, like, that bit wrong, but overall, damn.
So I made a shit ton of disguises.
I'm gonna say that's gonna be too stress flashback.
Yeah, I was gonna go for 2 like black. I'm sorry, blue coats. Like suits and whatever. But I like your idea better. I'm gonna go ahead and take this dress.
Yeah,
So-
too stressed
so
So when
simply
they go
because
back,
of the volume.
everybody looks like the target. They just don't know where to look.
Yeah.
If he's
And-
Squidward, and you're Squidward, and I'm Squidward.
Okay. Anybody wants to give me what's my position on this?
Fuck. I want to say controlled because you're just doing it from the safety of your workshop, right?
And I get limited effect, right?
I'm gonna say okay, yeah, I'm gonna be a little party pooper, but I'm gonna say limited simply because of the amount of disguises at that amount of time. It's gonna be limited.
They just need to be
Okay.
dotted around the district
So
enough to
if-
mislead. So yeah.
Effect like limited effect, and I'm woozy. Would that be 0 effect?
No, if that would be 0 effect. I mean, if you're doing this as a flashback, you're not woozy yet.
Yeah, you haven't woozied yet.
Oh yeah.
Woozy now.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. That's true. True. So I forgot how you look.
So you don't do it, and because you were at limited effect, I'm gonna say this brings it down to no effect. I want to say that you decided to start working this after the anesthetics,
but I
Every
do have
disguise is a different color.
No, like
Every-
2 or 3 means he doesn't do it. Like there's no disguises. So like the
Hmm.
idea that he was like, okay, I have done the silencer. I should do the disguises next, but I'm gonna work. But I'm gonna do
yeah.
the anesthetics, and then he did the anesthetics and knocked himself out.
So, Master Jacob, about those disguises,
Yes, I can't wait to see them. Where's the nearest one?
when did you want them
Do you remember
for? What's the
just
deadline?
seconds ago, when I said the distraction is, that was kind of showing the nowness of the situation.
See, I didn't. That's it. Didn't land home at all. I'm in the wrong ear on this one. I am.
Okay, you're owning your mistakes. This is
But
good. This is good.
I do have a solution. I'm a man of solutions, dark hole solutions, if I may. And I will. Okay. I want to have like a little lantern. How difficult would that be? Like make
You
a
can
lantern.
you can procure a lantern. Like considering that
Okay.
it's constantly night all the time, everyone has a lantern
Okay.
with them. So yeah, it's
Cool.
fine.
So
So we've not been
I
using the.
Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say we've not been using the load rules, but within the
Yeah.
you tick off the items that you're carrying.
I keep forgetting to ask you guys for your load. Yeah, I keep forgetting to ask
So
for your load.
in
I'm so
general,
sorry.
I
if we
will
assume
take
a presumed load of 5, then everybody gets to have 5 things ticked off that list as and when you need it, and the one that you want is a lantern. You tick off the lantern when you need it.
I will take the lantern, and I'll go ahead and just Master Pride, Master Jacob. I brought a lantern. Now hear me out.
It's another lantern.
Everything is off. No one knows where to go, and there's a lot of people in that place where I can see. So why don't you just start evacuating, and then Master Phantom you can get out with the crowd.
I'm going to share a slight lack of faith here, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. Under what circumstances do you think that the fire station might be evacuated?
Wait, is that a fire station?
It's a blue coat station.
So who's all that people inside?
Blue coats.
No, wait. I thought that like there were some
While
like
Jacob
people.
Pride are having.
Wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Yeah. As my understanding was there were people that came and made a racket inside of the. I thought Slate brought them.
No. There are people outside gossiping. The only person who was making a scene inside was Cass, who has now left, and now it's in pitch darkness because all the electrical lights have gone out.
Why don't you just get out? Well, yeah. Continue.
But yes, we've done the getting out part. We've done the getting out part. I'm asking, what will the distraction be if the blue coats come and Slate is still inside?
Simon, and with that, you two are having that discussion.
Yeah.
Slate, you wanted to do a flashback. You're muted.
I'm not sure if this will be a roll. I feel it's a relatively small background color kind of thing. It has an effect, but I still need to act on it later. So tell me where you feel. But basically, the scene would be I've poked my head into that courtyard. That's where we pulled away. So when we come back to me, I'm sort of sat on the hatch of the access panel to the basement, and I am stuffing the papers I already have into a leather satchel.
Okay.
Then it would be untie a tiny little knot that I've got in the courtyard, and that releases the pulley that that pulls the satchel to the roof. That's those papers out of the building, as far as I'm concerned. And
I'm
I
gonna
will come back
say.
to those, or somebody else can later.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is that to set up that entire system in this station, it's probably gonna be two stress.
Okay,
But I'm not gonna make you roll for it. I think
sure.
I
I'm
think it's
happy with
well
that. I'll mark that down.
within your ability. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So our target is out. If I can go back in and get the other stuff in time, that's something else. But if I fall in the pursuit of that, then at least we get paid for the job. That's my expectation there. Right. So I then hunch myself off of the frame of this sort of skylight as such, and back into the basement, and I return to the archive room, pick up my lantern, and start rummaging through the remaining papers. This time a little faster, this time a little less careful, and letting papers fall where they will as I try to find the last few bits that we need.
With that, then I'm gonna say you're doing it in a desperate position with that flavor. However, I'm gonna give it standard effect.
Okay.
You get an XP though.
Yeah. So standard effect, you said.
Standard. Yeah.
Okay. I get a 5.
5. Okay. So you do it, but there's a consequence. Okay.
Well, that would probably be tick up the clock now.
It could be. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Yes. You find the papers, right? However, Simon, and I think this is the first time it has happened on stream. This particular clock hits midnight. So as soon as you have the papers, as soon as you got yes, and you put them in your bag, you hear boots stomping. Not boots stomping, but like you hear people walking, right? And you hear someone say, "Check the archives. Make sure make sure they haven't been tampered with." Right?
Yeah. And I've been very clear that I've made an absolute mess this time. There's papers
You made a
everywhere.
fucking mess. Yeah, there's papers everywhere. Right? So you start walking out, and as soon as you walk out, you bump into a blue coat who is about to go into the same room as you. Right? He's putting breath in as in about to yell an alarm. What do you do?
Okay. One of two immediate moves is to try and use the lantern I've got to blind him, because he's come in from a dark and is not prepared for light straight in his face, and I need to silence him. I need to silence him as well, so it's going to be following that blinding in his face. I'm going to bring the lantern into his throat.
Okay. Desperate, standard. However, I got a devil's bargain. The lantern you hit will use because of using the lantern. It's an oil lantern. It's the cheapest one you can find.
Yeah.
Some of the oil and flame will fall down onto the papers and set the archives on fire if you take the devil's bargain.
As badly as it will go if I don't take that devil's bargain, I'm going to refuse because we specifically were trying not to burn down another building.
That's what I was going to say. I guess we're back to arson.
Because when I get back, Checkers is going to give me
reliable.
Checkers is going to give me such a nagging if I'm the one that burned the building down. And in my heart of hearts, I am not going to steal his thing.
And kill a dog in the same
prize. We're not doing that. Fuck off.
We're not killing the dog.
I've noticed that my character sheet has a slot for trained hunting pet. I have a plan.
Go ahead. Tell me.
So
you guys are gonna be.
That's to come.
Okay. Right. So do the roll. No devil's bargain, but you can still push yourself.
So when I use one of these items, does that give me a bonus dice?
The act of clicking the button doesn't, if that's what you're asking. But Roll20, the act doesn't. It has to be added at the end of the thing.
Using an item.
Go.
Using an item, I'm gonna allow the item. Using the item gives you better effects. Instead of standard, you're gonna be greater.
Okay. And this is skirmish.
I mean, yeah. If that's what you think it fits.
I mean, I'm in his face. I'm skirmish with an opponent in close combat assault. Yeah, it's entirely, I mean, unskilled, but it is the thing. It is the legit skill to use. So you're giving me a greater effect. So this is desperate.
Desperate, yeah.
Okay.
This is the definition of
Um,
desperate.
the effect was
Greater
greater.
because of the item.
So great. I have one extra. No, I don't have an extra dice because you're saying that the item is the extra.
Unless you
effect.
push yourself. Unless you push yourself.
What do I
Two
get for push?
To stress, to
stress.
take an extra die.
Not being skilled in it, what does that get me? Do I still end up with the lowest dice or something?
If your dice pool is 0, you roll 2 dice and you take the lowest.
Okay, but if I push, I get an extra dice.
But if you push, you still get 1 die. But whatever the highest result is, that's gonna be your result. Basically, at least 1 die is at least 50-50, like a 50% chance of success.
Yeah. Okay. So how am I running that then? I've taken the stress.
You add a die.
If I click on skip,
Yeah,
I just roll 1 die.
Yeah, you click on skirmish and you're gonna add 1 bonus die at the end.
Okay. Couldn't hold. The look could not hold.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just going to read to you what it says on my handy reference thing. Desperate 1 to 3. It's the worst outcome. Okay. Let me think on this because this has to be bad. This has to be really bad. 1 or 2 hit, he won't just do it.
Okay. So
yeah. Yes.
I
Yes, you have an idea.
deliberately didn't want to start a fire.
Yeah.
So
That was what I was going to
there's a
say.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that has to be a part of it, but the being a fire isn't enough. I'm in the fire.
You swing
You are
the. Okay.
Sorry.
No, this is what happens. You swing the lantern. You not only do you miss, it's a cheap oil lantern. It breaks off its hinges because of the force of the swing, and it lands right on those papers that mess you just made. It's enough time for the guard that you're facing to back up and yell at the top of his lungs, "Alarm! Alarm!" And you hearing. By the way, this commotion is enough for you outside to see it. In fact, the electric lights are still out. However, there's a faint orange glow inside the building. It's on one of the bottom floors. It's one of those windows that are on the those basement windows that it's just these small rectangular slots.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly what I was imagining.
Yeah. You're seeing a small a orange glow, and people are yelling alarm like it's bloody murder.
I look at Checkers.
You said no fires.
I'm looking at him as if to say, how did you do it from right over here?
You said no fires.
All right.
You wanted all the fun. So I just start running with my bombs and I'm gonna try to open a fucking hole in that wall.
Actually, we're running out a bit late, so what I'm going to do is, Mike, how do you get out of this one?
Okay, so I'm back into the archives.
Yeah, it's a dead end.
It is. The fire is burning ahead of me as I push stuff towards the door, meaning that there is no way they can come in after me. And I let out a loud whistle, and the whatever Chihuahua type animal it was that we've agreed bursts in from above through the window and starts basically distracting all the guards away. Now the lieutenant himself will chase this dog. It's his dog that I've retrained. And this is me ticking the box for.
Yeah, that's fine.
trained hunting pet.
And like that, as the chihuahua or whatever it is starts yapping, as the fire starts to spread from the archive rooms into the hallway, you start booking it. You start fucking rugby tackling any officers that come into your way, and you get out of there the only way you can. This is the last detail.
Sure.
What's your exit?
So basically, once the chaos has begun, I come flaming through, my coat and my cloak streaming embers as I rush through that entry point that I originally used. My dog chasing everybody away, buying me that exit point, and I scale the wall, grab the satchel, and I'm away into the night.
Mike, that's absolutely lovely. I just have a small issue with your phrasing. I don't think that was exactly when the chaos began.
Yeah.
And as Slate rappels up the building into the night, we cut away from the police station, and the camera goes up and looks at the sky as alarm bells start ringing. Smoke and ashes start billowing from the building, and then we come back, like the camera pans back down to another Bluecoat station that is burned to a crisp, but it's not the same one. You're back at Six Towers. You're handing the papers in to Nessa. We're going down right into downtime. So, payoff. You guys get 2 reputation by default. If the target of the score is higher, take tier plus 1 rep per tier higher. The Bluecoats are tier 3. So you get 5 reputation out of this.
Good
1,
question
2,
mark.
3, 4, 5. Yes, it's reputation is how you go up in tier in Blades. This is how you're starting to make a name for yourself.
What that name is, let's not dwell on.
Yeah. You also earn a coin reward based on the nature of the operation. Nessa was kind of undercutting you. You are at -1 with them after all. But you deliver the papers. They're unscathed. As she delivers 2 coin to you as promised. So you get to split that however you guys want. If anyone wants to negotiate with her, be my guest.
Cass. If it's going to be anybody, it's going to be you, mate.
This was a harder job than we expected. Did you know about the ghosts? Did you know about the ghosts?
No, we didn't hear anything about a ghost. She's lying.
I just stand there staring at her. Listen, I thought this job was to build up a positive relationship. If we're going to build up a positive relationship, then pay up. You knew about the ghost. You knew about the ghost.
This is not gonna be a standard roll. Just roll whatever you have in sway. No position, no effect. Let's just see if this works.
Right.
Okay. Sorry, but we agreed on 2 coin, and 2 coin is what you're receiving. But this was an opportunity to build a positive relationship, and you did help in kind, so I don't see why not. So yeah, part of the payoff is that you are now at 0 with the Cray Cloaks. You're no longer at -1. So at least they don't hate you anymore, I guess.
The real score was friendship all along.
Yeah. Right.
I hate them though.
The friends we made along the way.
Okay. So yeah, you guys divide the 2 coin however you see fit. Next, heat. All right. That I'm gonna say it's going to be.
To be honest, we did get a heat during it, so
Yeah.
Literally.
Combine the consequences of Cass's fail roll plus setting the place on fire. I want to say Hmm. I'm torn between 3 and 4 heat. What do you guys think?
I'd say 3, then the +1, meaning 4. I'd say it's not a 5.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put it at 4 then.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Okay. Now I need to make a. So how much are you? I think you guys are at 6 again. So now let me just count that correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you're at 5. Okay. So now I just need to make a secret roll. Hmm. We'll deal with that later. And then next, it's downtime. It's 1 or 2 days after this score, right? And like always, you have 2 downtime actions each. If you want more downtime actions, you can spend coin or your reputation to do it. Let's start with Slate. What's your first downtime action?
I have dues to pay. I'll be going to the Truth Buff and thanking them for their part in this. And I will indulge my vice.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll your. Just click on Indulge Vice on the Roll20 character sheet.
Which I've done. And submit.
5. So you clear 5 stress. What does Slate do that calms him down this much?
I think it's very meditative this time. Yeah, I'm on guard duty, but it's the snowy roofs of Duskwall, and I take my position and new cloak, because the old one is now in tatters. Wrap that around me, cocooning myself over the spot of snow that I'm stood on, and I wait until every snowflake has melted and it's cleared that telltale signature spot on the ceiling. Knowing that at the end of the meeting, as I go down, I'll have left visible circle of slates that is my perch.
Nice. Next, Cass. What is your first downtime action? If you want a reminder, just let me know.
I would like to clear some heat.
Go ahead. What are you doing to clear heat?
Remember the disguise thing that we tried to pull earlier?
Yep.
I want to take some time to do it properly. I want there to be a ton of people walking around who look just like me.
A fashion statement.
Are you swaying them?
And by doing it properly, they mean doing it. Because I didn't do it.
All right. So yeah.
No, I'm probably gonna ask for your help on this. Just kind of try and
to actually make it.
Mechanically, it's still gonna be your roll, Cat.
Okay.
But fluff wise, we can say.
Yeah, you can make it, and I can persuade people to wear it.
Yeah. So, go ahead. What are you rolling to reduce heat on you?
Can I roll sway?
Yeah, go ahead. Don't worry about the position and effect. This has nothing to do with it. With reducing heat. 6.
Wow.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Damn, you reduce 3 heat off of you. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so you're now at 2 heat as like when blue coats start asking questions about, hey, have you seen this person? And they describe you, right? It's like, yeah, I saw like 2 of them like yesterday walking down the street, so the massive confusion that you caused with this parade of Casses they just went, oh, man, this is a fucking wild goose chase.
Yeah,
never mind, and has reduced some heat on you.
Now
right?
It's considered high fashion.
Hey man, Dagger Isles style is in.
Yeah.
I might have to change my whole look now.
I'm fashionable. I need to change this now. I'm not cutting edge anymore.
Victorian hipsters.
Do I have to make another illustration?
Pride. What are you doing for your first downtime?
Yeah, I'm going to reduce heat as well.
Tell me how
My
you're doing it.
reducing heat is a lot more divisive. Thanking Cass profusely for getting that book I needed. I'm going to start a little campaign of getting to know you with the lovely lieutenant. Letters. Writing letters, obviously. Asking if they're well. Asking if their friends are well. Asking if they know who their friends are.
Are you talking to the lieutenant directly?
No, letters. Letters to the lieutenant,
Letters.
of course. Always letters.
How do
Never
you
in
sign them?
person. Nothing's more personal than letter. Even being in person is not as personal as letters.
How are you? How are you signing those letters?
A
JP
friend.
or
A friend.
a friend?
A friend, yes.
Okay.
But always with a symbol that obviously he's going to take note of, so that if I was to draw that symbol, he would know who I was.
Right.
So it would be.
What is that symbol?
It's a coda symbol from music. Coda is like a circle with a cross through it. It means to be repeated.
Okay. So, that sounds like you're consorting the most threatening consort I've ever heard. But
Not at
if
all.
the shoe fits,
it's
right?
It's the eye of the beholder, darling. Eye of the beholder. You know, it's only threatening if you believe it's threatening. If
Oh no,
not,
it's threatening. I'm putting my foot down. This is threatening as all hell.
Yeah. So yes, I am. I'm going to make a friend. So let's. What position is this?
No position, no effect. It's just to see how much heat you reduce.
Okay. So does it have no position in here? No, you just say.
I just put whatever. Just
Yeah.
put whatever. Controlled or
no bonus dice and submit. Oh, that's not great. That's not good. Yeah, I think I made an enemy.
He starts answering your letters. I think you may have found a match. He's not buying into your into your threats. He is actually lacing his letters with threats of his own. But Pebbles, please. Uh, he's lacing like the letters with threats of his own. But I think you befriended him enough that he will overlook certain details, and that means you will lose the one heat.
Okay.
Right.
And I put down in my notebooks, watch him.
Yeah. Checkers. Go tell me what your downtime is while I deal with this issue.
All right. I'm too stressed. I didn't clear enough stress last time, so I'm gonna go ahead and deal with that. I'm gonna indulge in my vice.
Go ahead.
I have no bonus die, right?
No, it's just yeah. Thing.
Oh, sweet.
Take the lowest results, so you clear 5 stress. That's still
Okay.
pretty. That's still quite a bit.
Sweet. Okay.
So you're down to 3 stress. What does checkers do to relax?
I find a fitting body and try it for the first time. The automaton kind of like it turns on and gets up and gives me like a hollow metallic bark and gets me very excited, and then it turns off.
Aw.
But I'm close. I'm getting closer.
You're getting closer.
Yeah.
Now, okay. So that's your y'all's first downtime action. Slate, what's your second downtime action?
So I'm thinking of spending it. I don't know. How do we spend XP and when can we do that?
We're gonna do that right after the session. I forgot to do that last session, because I was
I'll come back
still
to that.
really anxious. Yeah, so we're gonna come back to that.
Can I help? Can I help Checkers with his dog building?
Oh.
Let's wait. Like fluff wise, we can say you were doing it while he was indulging his vice. Yeah.
Okay.
But you still
then
have a
in which
downtime
case,
action. Yeah.
I like the fact that Slate had to prove that he does like dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Necromancying a dog does not negate.
Hey, that's. You want to know how I got
Didn't
these
say he did it
scars?
well.
You want to know how I got these scars? Slate.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Slate. I know you would
No.
never
Oh,
hurt
no,
a
no, no, no.
dog.
No, I mean, like, I was talking to Slate. You want to know how I got these scars, Slate?
No. So, I mean, I'm impressed with you, but not enough to get familiar with your scar stories. The there are things I want to learn about you guys. No, there aren't actually. There is no things I want to learn about any of you guys. Can we just go over the options again? Because I
Yeah.
last time only did the relieved
Yeah.
stress.
You can acquire an asset. You can start a long-term project. I have an idea what that could be. If you have any harm, you can recover. You can reduce heat. You can train to start adding XP to any of your trackers, or you can indulge your vice.
Then I will train then.
All right.
As my
How are
second
you?
option.
How are you training?
So I'm going to reach out to my ally and do some skirmish training.
Cool. So yeah, just add that XP to prowess. I think it is.
Okay, yeah. So that puts me at 2 XP on prowess.
Oh yeah, actually you get an extra XP because you have because as shadows you get extra XP for training prowess. So
Okay, I'm at 3 prowess.
yeah, cool. Cass, what's your second downtime action?
I am going off to the casino with my buddies. Gonna have a few games of poker. I come out of there with less money than I intended to. I was planning to get a cab back home, but I guess I'm walking.
Roll that vice. Indulge that vice. You clear exactly 4 stress, which means you
Nice.
don't indulge. So yeah, you come out feeling. Yeah, you spend most of your pocket money. You gonna have to walk back home, but you're feeling refreshed. Okay. Pride.
Yeah, Jacob has a thank you to deliver, but he's going to do it by indulging his vice, of course.
Okay, go ahead. Same thing as always.
So I'm going to go to the opium den, and I'm going to get that fine fellow that worked so well for us, reporting Cass in falsely. We're going to sit down, and this time, whereas last time he agonized over every last detail of what he considered to be horrendous score, this time he's collecting human data. He's chilling out and just watching the human equation unfold in front of him. Indulge vice. There we go.
Okay, so yeah, just click indulge vice. 4, and you clear exactly 4 stress as well. No overindulging to you. You know exactly how much opium to imbibe.
Of course, I'm taking my time this time.
Yeah. All right, and then finally, checkers. What's your last downtime action before we call it tonight?
For my last downtime action, I'm going to burn down the police station.
Another one. And another one.
Because I didn't get to do this one.
I'm the DJ Khaled of burning police stations.
And another one. And another one. And another
one.
That's your vice.
Might be. It might. I don't know why that's not my vice.
I'll allow you to change it. I'll allow you to change.
You don't need to make a bad roll to overindulge in that one.
Yeah. All right. So
things are much prettier when they burn.
Yeah. Hey, art is a flash, man. Hey, can you tell me my options again, because I am
acquire asset, long-term project.
Yes.
Recover. You can recover actually because you still have that 1 harm, right?
Yeah.
You can recover from your harm. You can try reducing heat on you. You can train on a on an attribute or indulge your vice.
How are we doing on heat, guys?
You just have 1 heat.
1 heat?
I was going to say 1 heat is not even worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and recover.
Yep.
And you said that we could spend something to get another action.
Yeah, you can spend coin or rep, but give me a moment. The reference thing I have doesn't go into detail about recovering, so you're gonna have to excuse me on that.
Yeah.
He entanglement. Yeah, recover. Your healer. Okay. Okay, so basically the way it works is you're gonna have to look for someone who can do medical treatment on you. You have to look for a physiker. You either know one or you actually have to go out to find one, right? Maybe the guy who robs graves.
Eckert.
Yeah, maybe he knows something. I guess he knows something about the human anatomy to, but like do healing.
All right. So
I feel like this is the second time today when people have conflated like necromancy with healing. Is that just how this goes around here?
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to find like who would be a good physiker considering who he knows.
death is a big part of life. So
We're going to get cured by Zen.
I got myself into another pickle, man. And I know I come here all the time with pickles, but I really need your help now.
He spit like he was in the middle of digging out a grave. He just spits. What'll be now?
I got a stomach ache.
You're woozy from anesthetics. I don't know if a stomach ache is a really good descriptor for
I'm
it.
underselling it. I come here all the time with problems.
All right. Let me take a look at you, and I'm gonna make a roll for him to see how much you take on your healing clock.
Awesome.
3.
Nice.
So that just fills one segment of your healing clock. He has you smell some herbs. He slaps you around a little bit. Your head feels a little clearer, but you're still kind of woozy, man.
I think I didn't explain myself, Eckert, but I really can't stand more slapping for today. So I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
And I'm gonna come back tomorrow.
If you guys have any additional downtime actions, we're gonna cover the next session because we're already running a little late. However, let's end on this note. Jacob, you're back at the hideout, right?
Mhm.
And suddenly, actually no, what you're doing is that you're at the lair, and you're walking into the mansion to go into the lair. It's like coming to the office in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And you noticed when you're about to open the door, there's a piece of parchment nailed to the door. It's a circle surrounded by fire and an eye in the middle. And there's only 2 words written. We know. And with that, we're going to live it off for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Kevin, Simon, Kat, and Mike for playing today. They were really amazing tonight. Thank you again for Hermit and all the viewers. I don't have chat open, so I don't know who's actually watching, right? But yeah, this was really cool. I'm really glad we got to play today, and I hope we get to see you guys next week.
Thank you very much for the session.
Right.
Really loved it, and really loved how it's maturing as well into an MO.
Yeah.
As usual, we're going to raid. So whilst I set that up, you guys round off.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I did my part. I did my job.
I'm gone.
Oh, that play between Simon and Kevin was just brilliant. The way
That
you
was
guys
fucking
bounced off
awesome.
each other. Oh,
Oh man. Well,
Who's in line right
it's-
now?
Yeah,
let's
it's
see. We did Gianni last time. We have a choice between our own Kate. We have Jenny, the classy librarian, or we have the food cart gamer. DM's choice.
Fuck it. Let's rate Kate.
Yep, let's go for it. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for the usual. Again, if you want to join, if you're watching and you've been lurking, don't be a stranger if you don't want to. And look in the channel notes below to be able to join our Discord, where you'll be able to find some of the other games that we are running both on and off stream. And we're going to go off to raid Kate Madison. Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
I need to get
That was-
Kate's credits stream, by the way, because I've got it. And we're raiding now. Good night, everyone.
That was probably the best session of Blades I've ever GM. Not gonna lie.
Wow.
So
Let's
good.
keep that up. Let's keep that up.